Peter Edmiston with CJ Hurt. The first hour of the experience is brought to you by Lads for your zero-turn mower and golf car needs. Now, here are your hosts, Peter and CJ.
Oh, yeah! You sound better. I feel better. A little bit. I finally broke the old fever.
You look better.
Thanks. I mean, I always look great, but thank you for that. Even better.
I think it's the haircut.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know.
He's had the haircut all week, though.
I appreciate that. 2%. Thank you very much. No, I've been under the weather and again had a low grade fever for a little bit, and finally broke that sucker last night while I was watching this game, just sweating profusely for no apparent reason. I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, this must be the breaking fever thing. And then after that I slept a little better, and I feel a little bit better this morning. So we're getting there. We're getting there. We're making it happen slowly but surely. Welcome into the experience. My name is Peter Edmiston. He is CJ Hurt. That's 2%. Maximilian Von Vincent on the other side of the glass. Cousin to Fred Van Vliet, Max Von Vincent, is doing his thing, taking care of you on the whenever you call in, whenever you dial up 360-8255, or whenever we need our music. Today's going to be Funk Thursday, so if you got any funk requests that are out there, please feel free to throw those in. Yeah, that's right.
Give us the funk. Ow.
Today, it is, as you may have already ascertained, if you walked outside or if you looked anywhere, you saw friends or family. You thought it was humid yesterday. Today, the humidity is 96% outside, relative humidity, and that means it's already starting to rain. So now it's a little cooler, so it's not as doesn't feel quite as crazy because the temperature is down a little bit. But rest assured, it is already raining a little bit, and it's going to rain for much of the day in waves. So get yourself ready, get your umbrellas, whatever it is that you need to get yourself confident that you're taking care of business. That's what you need to take care of. So it's going to rain today, highs, low 80s kind of thing. But yeah, it's not going to be a super pleasant day. Good day to go to the movies if you can.
Speaking of that, how was Aladdin?
I don't know.
I thought the fam saw it.
They did.
Did they tell you?
They liked it.
Okay. I got glowing reviews from Aladdin.
From Aladdin himself.
From Aladdin.
Oh.
From Aladdin. Aladdin hit me up and said, hey, go see the movie. It's great.
It's pretty good.
From people who saw Aladdin.
Ah. Yeah, they all really liked it. Said it was it was good. wasn't quite as good as the original, but still good.
Okay.
So I do not feel especially compelled to check it out, but that did make me at least a little bit intrigued. We're going to talk to Omari Sankofa about the Grizzlies. He's my colleague over at The Athletic. He'll join us at 8:00 to talk a little Grizzlies. There's a lot of, and we'll be talking about this today, there's a lot of like little bits and pieces of stuff. There's nothing concrete about any of this, but there's little bits and pieces that are emerging that are interesting. About the coaching search, about where the Grizzlies are right now, and some of these decision-making processes, about the draft stuff, about all this stuff. So we'll talk to Amari about some of that stuff. We'll also talk. You and I will talk a little bit about this too, coming up on the show. We will also talk about last night. The Raptors had to get the win. It was absolutely crucial given how banged up the Warriors were, and they did. 123-109. Raptors now lead the series 2-1, and you could tell that Warriors team, that was a severely depleted bunch. Raptors absolutely had to have that, and they got it. And now the series is very, very interesting going forward. We'll discuss all of that. The Chicago Cubs and Craig Kimbrell have reached a deal. 3 years, $43 million. A strong move there to help the bullpen for the Cubs. Also, and we have kind of, alluded to some of the shockers. There was a severe shocker in the French Open just this morning, just moments ago. As an American, Amanda Anisimova reached the French Open semifinal. She beat the champ, Simona Alep, 6-2, 6-4. Her first major semifinal is coming up against Ashley Barty. But how about that? The little American magic.
Wow.
Way to go.
Good job.
17 years old.
USA.
See, nobody has a problem with her being a professional. Are they? Is she getting paid for this?
I don't think so. I think they give her someplace to live and let her go to classes.
Oh. Yeah.
And they feed her 3 meals.
Yeah.
I think that's how that works.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
It's not?
No.
No.
I really don't.
Oh.
No, she's already won a championship. See how much money she made.
None. I don't think you can make money professionally in sports if you're that age.
Funny story. Turns out she's made $694,813.
Oh, really?
Professional.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
At 17?
17 years old. I know. Weird, right? No one seems to have really had a big issue.
She must not have been offered by LSU. 'Cause I'm pretty sure she could have got more from them.
Well, and she won her first career money at the FSP Gold River Women's Challenger when she was 15.
Nice.
So she took home the champions. It's about $30,000 or something like that. She's able to keep it.
Yeah, my kid's gonna play tennis. You're gonna get that money.
Yeah, I mean that's. But again,
you got one already. You put a racket in her hand.
I mean, I've got 2.
Oh, you do have 2.
Yeah.
Put a racket in both of their hands. Let them start getting money at 14, 15.
I don't want to put any rackets in their hands.
What?
They hit each other with it. You're not going to hit the ball. We know how this works. They're not hitting the ball. I can promise you that. We are in the Family Leisure Studios where family fun come together. Home of the Super Summer Sale happening right now. And I know you maybe don't look outside and think about that pool and think about all that stuff, but you need to because it's all happening. It's real. It's real. And it's summer. It's going to be super hot, super humid. Time to go jump in and get after it. So that's the Family Leisure Studios. Go to 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Not too far away from that is Lads. They bring you this hour of the program. LadsOnline.com. Go see the great folks at Lads for zero-turn mowers, club cars, and so much more. It's, like I said, right off Whitten Road, right at the exit, I-40 Whitten. You cannot miss it. Go see them, customize that club car, make your family a little bit happier, make your summer a lot more fun with Lads. Again, that's LadsOnline.com. They bring you this hour of the program. You can join us if you want. It's really easy to do. You can call in 360-8255. It's 901-360-8255. That's the First Bank phone line. You can also get us on the First Bank text line. It's 67129. That's 67129. Send a text to 67129. If you've not joined the text team, you can do that first. It's really easy. You can send one text, 56-JOIN, 56-JOIN, 56-JOIN to 67129. 56-JOIN to 67129. Do it one time, then you're locked and loaded, and your phone number's in, and all you have to do then is to text us at 67129 anytime you want. Save it as a contact to make it easier on yourself. So, as I mentioned last night, game 1, 123-109. Raptors knock off the Warriors. Toronto up 2-1 in the series. Warriors did not have Klay Thompson, who was a late scratch, was going to try to get out there, but as we said, with hamstrings, they are notably tricky. And, you know, it's not a matter of pain, it's just a matter of what can your body do. And his body was not able to actually do anything with that. So there was no point in going out there. And he couldn't play. You saw really a diminished group. Without Kevon Looney in the mix, it meant even more DeMarcus Cousins, who was absolute trash out there. He was awful. Awful. As good as he was in game 2, he was that bad and worse in game 3. Really, really the kind of performance that his agent will be reaching for the scotch. After about the first 5 minutes, when Marc Gasol just worked him repeatedly, he airballed a 3. It was at that point, you know, you're like, okay, getting beat repeatedly on defense, turning the ball over. It was extremely ugly. So as a prospective free agent, not a great endorsement for what he's going to be able to add to just a regular team when he's not part of a super team that's bolstered by a whole lot of talent. And
Right.
that was ugly out there.
It was ugly for him and a whole bunch of other dudes. The difference is people for the longest period of time have lumped DeMarcus Cousins in with amongst the best bigs in the NBA. And that performance right there, it sets up for you to shine. I know that you've been injured for a month and you're coming back from that injury and it takes a while to get in shape, but that is it right there. No Kevin Durant, no Klay Thompson. This team right here, the way it's constructed now with DeMarcus Cousins there, looks more like a regular NBA team. So DeMarcus, show us what you can do on a regular NBA team. And apparently that is not very, very much at all. As we saw Marc Gasol, we talked about it yesterday. We talk about it constantly when we talk about Marc Gasol. Got to be more assertive on offense, got to be more aggressive looking to score. And at the start of that game, that is the Marc Gasol we saw. And he was working DeMarcus Cousins. It wasn't fair.
It wasn't fair. It was ugly. It was ugly, and it got worse. And this was there's a lot to unpack from this game, but just know that one of the weird things right out of the gate, the Warriors have scored 109 points in each of the first 3 games. What? Yep, 109 points. Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, all 109 points. Really strange.
That's a glitch in the system.
That is that's right. Very much so. Which is not a lot of points for them. It tells you again how they've struggled. And the Raptors have won 10 of the 12 quarters, including all 4 quarters last night in the series. Really, it's that one run that started the second half in Game 2 that's keeping the Warriors from being down 0-3.
Yeah.
This should really be Raptors up 3-0. They could be on the verge of a sweep tomorrow night. They should be if they hadn't screwed it up in Game 2. But they have been much the better team throughout this series. Even with a hampered Kawhi Leonard, he's definitely not 100%. He really struggled in the first half. Got a lot better in the second half. He was huge, but you could see in this game how much Klay Thompson means. The first time he's missed a playoff game in this entire run. He was the only guy that hadn't missed one yet from that group that they've had, and he finally did. And you could see how much it changed everything with him not able to play, because the forget about the offensive side was bad enough, but defensively, that is where the Warriors have really been. They've made their hay on the defensive end of the floor. Their offense has been really, really good, of course, but it's been bolstered by one of the best defenses in basketball that no one talks as much about because the offense is so flashy and all that. But without Klay, you saw Draymond Green. His role had to change because when you put Klay on Kawhi, and you could kind of use his size and length, and you allow Draymond to go out and be the best help defender in NBA history, which he can make a case for, and to be just kind of that roaming free safety, and to be able to improvise and to make his reads on the fly, and to do all that stuff that he does with that super big basketball brain of his. When you don't have that, because Kawhi ended up having to be guarded straight up by Draymond in the absence of Klay. Well, now who are you replacing that help with? Nobody, really. Iguodala, he is smart enough to do it, but he can't. His body won't let him do it.
I think Livingston is the same type of way.
Livingston's not as good. He's not as strong. I mean, he's just not physically. Even though Livingston's a very smart guy, but he's very he's frail and he's injured anyway. Draymond's got that thick body in addition to all that other stuff, so he can guard 1 through 5. Livingston can't guard 1 through 5. And anyone else they put on the bench? I mean, Jordan Bell got worked on switches all day long. Bogut is, limited. He was okay, but that's about the best you could hope for. I mean, you're really relying heavily on Quinn Cook. That's a problem. And it's the limitations of this roster. They are not deep. As good as they are not deep. And you could see the cracks really reveal. And that Raptors, the Warriors defense, all of a sudden they gave up, it was 127 offensive rating for the Raptors in this game.
That's high. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That is a lot.
That is a lot. In a very fast-paced game. And if the Raptors had just, they were on the verge the entire game, CJ, of breaking this thing away. And they just couldn't, they could never quite do it till the very end, but it was the whole game.
Not only was it's odd to say this, but not only were the Raptors on the verge of breaking this thing open, but the Warriors several times were on the verge of getting this thing to like 5 points. And then let's see what would have happened with the Raptors had they been up 5 with, X amount of time left on the clock and Steph Curry's got the ball in his hand. And then it would have gotten real interesting because if you go down, or if that game gets tied late with that bunch that the Warriors were trotting out there, I don't know if mentally the Raptors don't just like, oh my gosh, crumble. Steph Curry had an amazing game. It was reminiscent of Steph at Davidson, right? Where he had to do, everybody's role has changed now. With Klay being out, Kevin Durant being out, Draymond Green, you talked about him having to play one-on-one defense with little help. But Steph's role changed also. Somebody had to pick up that scoring slack, and Steph did. Steph also got out there and got rebounds. Steph was better than decent defense. Steph was good on the defensive side of the court last night, and it isn't enough. And one of the things that this Warriors team has that a lot of other teams don't is a good chemistry with their core. So not only is Steph Curry a phenomenal shooter, not only is Draymond Green great defensively and great making plays with the ball, not only can Klay Thompson play on both ends of the court, but all of their games fit and complement one another in a way that we don't see in this league. So you've got great players whose games complement one another, and then you take one of them out. You take Klay out, and it's just the lack of depth was glaring last night. And the Raptors took full advantage, which they needed to do. And you're 100% right this week for the first time, Peter. They should be up 3-0. They should be up 3-0. This should be they should be playing Friday night for a sweep. Had the Warriors not gone on that run, and that run got sparked. That run was aided by Klay Thompson going off in the first half. Right, Klay Thompson, when he went out with the injury, had 25 points in 2.5 quarters, basically. Right, and when you don't have that there, you can get so close without that little extra to carry you over the threshold and over that hump. And they didn't have that extra there last night.
They did not. So now the Warriors, the biggest question for them is health. I mean, you got to figure out what next, because without healthy Klay Thompson, even if he plays, he's got to be pretty effective. And who knows whether he's going to be able to be effective in the this is the shortest rest period of the series, game between games 3 and 4, just the one game, or just the 1 day rather. So is he going to be able to recover? They're optimistic he will play, but he can't possibly be 100% or anywhere even close to it. That's huge. And then, of course, on top of that, you've got Kevin Durant, who they think is going to be back, but don't know yet. Hasn't been cleared, and I guess we'll find out more today when he goes through a practice session and they try to ramp up his activity level. But both those guys are going to be hampered. I mean, it'll be huge to just have them out there, but they need something. That group, but what you saw last night was LeBron in 2015. Steph Curry playing the role of LeBron with a bunch of dudes, just trying to do everything he can possibly do. What you saw out there was Steph Curry doing a very, very good Devin Booker impression, where he's just out of his mind scoring and doing everything, and he's playing in a situation where he has no chance to win, and he's just going to have to rack up as much as he possibly can. Curry was unbelievable, being guarded by everybody, basically box and none. It was just all a box around Steph, basically, and it didn't matter. Like his little dribble moves, his ability to create space. He's just a remarkable player, and 47 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. And I mean, he was so good. And when in the 5 minutes that he wasn't out there, it was ugly. And so he had to play a ton of minutes, but he can't do it by himself. And he saw what LeBron saw, and he's seen what other guys have seen. That you can't. I don't care how good you are, man. At this level in the finals, you can't be a one-man team.
No, not because once you get here, everybody's really good, and you're playing the same team multiple times, and that familiarity lends itself to that team being able to figure out a way to stop your team from winning. Maybe not to stop you, because you are phenomenal. Can't stop Steph, but we can pretty much stop everybody else, and that is what they did. And with the roles, everybody having to play a different role on the defensive end and on the offensive end. You saw Draymond Green. They needed somebody else to score. That was where Boogie Cousins could have stepped in, and that's not. Boogie
he definitely did not step in.
He didn't do that. That's not Draymond. That's not like mud or cement. That's not Draymond Green's game. Draymond can create as much as he wants, and he created a couple opportunities that game. But it is who's he throwing the ball to? McKinney? There's I don't know if you guys know this or not. Gonna impart some wisdom on you.
Okay, I'm glad I'm sitting down.
There's a huge difference in trying to throw the ball to McKinney versus Kevin Durant, right? There's a big difference between Klay Thompson being at the three-point line and the space that creates and it being one of the other guards for the Warriors, not named Steph, right? There's a big difference. So you don't have to respect Sean Livingston out there at the three-point line. You can pack the paint. And then when Draymond kicks the ball out there to Sean, guess where Sean's coming? Right to where the defense is, because he's not a shooter like Klay Thompson is. And that just didn't work for them. And it's not going to work for them.
No, it is not indeed. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk more about this, more about the next step for the Warriors. What happens now?
Blow it up, trade everybody.
We'll discuss the biggest news of the night, last night, that really didn't have anything to do with that game itself. We'll talk about when fans go crazy. We'll talk about that too. And also on this very special day, 75 years removed from D-Day, absolute thrill and thanks and great veneration to all the veterans who are with us and all those who aren't, who were part of that heroic day that really turned the tide and helped to win a war. It was not easy. It was incredibly devastating, and a lot of lives were lost. But it was a tremendously heroic thing that was done, and we give them great honor on this day, D-Day. 75 years, June 6, 1944. Incredible. We'll take a break. We'll come back here on this Thursday. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
The Press Box with Keith Parker and Elliot Wender. Weekday mornings at 6 on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Visit Frontier Western Store this Father's Day for the perfect gift. All Carhartt Force t-shirts are 25% off. This is the Clydesdale of t-shirts. This hard-working cotton blend wicks away sweat, resists stains with a relaxed fit, giving Dad plenty of room to move. Save big on Force. 25% off now through Father's Day. Next, Ariat Polos are buy two, get one free. Frontier's got solid and striped polos in a variety of fabrics by Ariat, and they are all buy two, get one free. Also, all men's pants and jeans, $5 off. Every pair from khakis to jeans, dungarees to FR workwear, $5 off. While you're there, grab Dad some boots. You know he'd love a new pair. Frontiers has thousands of boots in stock at amazing everyday low prices. Still not sure what to grab? Grab a Frontier gift card and let Dad come pick out his new favorite pair of boots. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
I know the sweetest thing in Memphis, and I know it's been around for 115 years. You know, I'm talking about Dinstall's, and it's time to stock up heavy on Cashew Crunch, Heavenly Crunch, Turtlettes, all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. So easy to get. The sweetest thing in Memphis, all you have to do is head to Laurelwood or head to Germantown and Poplar right across from the hospital, or go where they make the candies. That's on Pleasant View. There's nothing that says Memphis better than Cashew Crunch with that little tinge of coconut, or the Turtlettes. Let's face it, there's nothing better than Dinstall's chocolate. That's the mainstay of all candies, isn't it? Milk, chocolate, although their dark chocolate is pretty darn good. And if you get the peppermint with the dark chocolate and put it in the freezer, you're going to love it. So many ways to love Dinstall's. Stock up heavy on all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. 115 years of making Memphis oh so sweet.
We've all got places to go. From work to play. Morning to night, it's go, go, go. And then go some more. We go for music, movies, workouts, and checkouts. It's quite the busy little schedule we've got going. And we need something to keep up with it all. To keep up with life on the go. That's where Valero top-tier certified quality fuel comes in. It keeps your engine running cleaner, better, and longer. So you can get right back to going. Find a station near you at ValeroCleanGas.com.
And now, an ad from Mom.
Here I go. Bundling home and auto with Progressive can save you money on your car insurance. No kidding. Oh, all right. I'm sorry. I added that last part in. You can edit that out, right? Or you can keep it in if you like. I mean, my opinion is I think it's good. I think other people my age would like it. Very relatable.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Duncan Williams Investment Bankers presents Kansas at Live at the Garden this Friday, June 7th at the beautiful Memphis Botanic Garden. One night, Kansas. All the hits, plus Almost Famous is the opening band. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. For more information, visit liveatthegarden.com. Doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 8:30. Also presented by FedEx, True Green, Infinity of Memphis, Regions Bank, Radians, Pro Show, Mojave Tint, and PDR. That's Kansas at Live at the Garden this Friday, June 7th at the Botanic Garden.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Lads for your zero-turn mower and golf car needs. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
I said the hip, the hip, however you don't stop. Rock it out, baby, rubber to the boogity bang bang, the boogie to the
More
boogie
rap
beat.
than funk, but
Now what you hear is not a test.
Yeah, this is not funk at all.
The beat.
Yeah.
And me, the groove.
I was trying
and
to
the
process.
drive.
Trying to meet him semi-halfway, but this is not funk.
Is this not the first song like credited as being rap? Like this is rap coming out of the proverbial womb right here.
What's the name of the song?
DJ's Delight.
Rapper's Delight.
Rapper's Delight.
Is it funk? It's funk.
Is it the music and that makes something funk? Not like just
No, there's a genre of music called funk. It's funk. It's funk music, like P-Funk, George Clinton. You got the tons of people in the 70s, the 80s that were all about some funk. Your Midnight Stars and all these people were Parliament and
Parliament.
All these sorts of folks. I mean, that's funk. What's the one BT Express?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
Not Rapper's Delight.
Not Rapper's Delight.
Oh, it's a great song.
I mean,
on the Spotify playlist, it's the #1 funk song.
Yeah, Spotify is wrong.
Who's playing this?
Who in the hell is Spotify to tell
It's
us?
called Disco Fever.
That disco's not funk.
And that's not disco.
What? So on the #1 on a disco fever funk
Is
playlist
Rapper's Delight.
We're all over the place on this thing. I mean, we are all over the place. What in the world?
Like what?
We gotta get some actual,
I can't respect Spotify after this.
That was crazy. So as we mentioned last night, 123-109, the Raptors victorious over the Warriors, up 2-1. Marc Gasol 2 wins away from an NBA Finals, from an NBA championship for the city of Memphis by proxy somehow.
So is Kyle Lowry by proxy.
Not really.
Yes.
No.
Grit and grind.
Yeah. Kyle Lowry.
Grit and grind Lowry is what we call him down here.
No one called him that. He was gone before any of that even started. No one called him that. You weren't even here when he was here, so
no,
I can assure you I was.
But I talked to people close to the situation. Yeah. They said they called him Grit and grind Lowry.
Yeah, I was close to the situation.
Okay,
because I was here, and that never happened. So yeah, you just lied to people now. Sad that you'd be reduced to that, CJ. I expected more from you.
Why would you expect anything?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That is a you problem, not a me problem.
Fair point. I'll take that. I'll take that criticism to heart. Last night we also learned a couple things. Number one, did you see the fan sitting courtside who decided to push Kyle Lowry after he leapt into the courtside seats trying to chase a ball?
Yeah.
And the guy just like takes a weak little sort of like
That was the weakest shove I've ever
lily
seen.
livered, limp armed little kind of noodle push thing. I mean, obviously he's got to get that 2% workout in because
I'm saying.
he didn't have a lot of strength in the delts and the lats, and none of that was strong.
When Lowry collided in, did you see the girl in the yellow?
Oh, yeah, he
Just get
obliterated her.
blasted.
She got
She
blasted.
Obliterated her.
Went back one row.
But my man just sits there and just little push for some reason. And Kyle Lowry immediately was like, "What are you doing? Like, what is your deal?" And my man got kicked out. I saw the broadcast. From on the Canadian broadcast, they showed him getting kicked out. I don't know if they actually showed it on the American broadcast. No, they showed
you had Van Gundy saying, "What is he supposed to do?" Wait, what do you mean? What is he supposed to do? Keep his hands to himself.
He didn't have to do anything. It wasn't him that got knocked down. It was next to him. Kyle Lowry was like a 2 or 3 seats over,
2 seats away from this dude, and he decided he was going to.
He was all like mad about it. Like, what?
Like, what is your
You're sitting
deal?
courtside. So way to go, idiot! You paid God knows how much for those seats to sit courtside at a finals game, and you thought you were a tough guy, and you get yourself kicked out.
Is that what he thought? That's not a tough guy push. Like, that's not a tough guy reaction. That is spineless guy.
Why would spineless guy push
yellow
you?
belly?
Why would you push somebody though?
I don't know.
50,000 cameras all around you. Like, there's nothing you can do in that moment that isn't captured worldwide.
And did you think he wasn't going to say something about it? Like, that is drunk guy looking for a story to tell.
Kyle was
right there.
hot. Yeah,
yes, he should have been hot.
That's a ridiculous.
He thought he was going to get away with it.
I mean, the story would have been ridiculous. I mean, ugh. Anyway, it was very frustrating. The fan, there's no call for any of that.
No,
nothing even close to that.
The other fans, though, he did obliterate one chick. She went back 2, 3, 4 rows. She went back to the nosebleed section, and then the other people in the area. There's a lady standing up cheering for the Warriors. She's like, "Are you okay?" She's clapping. The guy behind him is clapping for him, like, "You all right?" And then this dumb pushes him.
So I hope this guy is banned from the new stadium and the old stadium and everything else. Yeah, I hope that's the case. Ridiculous. So in any event, that's one thing that we learned last night.
I think we knew that. Fans were stupid.
Well, these guys, I just don't get it, man. I really that mindset. I will never be able to understand that mindset. I will never be able to understand that in that situation. I will never be able to understand any of that stuff. I just cannot. I can't fathom it. Like the mindset of what you're doing, what's happening, all that stuff. Now, the more important thing, though, that we learned last night.
I hope this is what I think it is.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Paul Pierce.
Yes!
Because this is something that has been rumored for a long time. 11 years ago, 2008, Celtics Lakers game 1, the NBA Finals. That was the Celtics winning, the Kevin Garnett, anything is possible, the whole thing.
Yeah. One of the great emotional outbursts.
Well, Paul Pierce, during game 1 of that series, was hurt, suffered a leg injury.
Yes, he did.
That he went down in the middle of the third quarter, I think it was, and like he's holding his leg and all this, and ends up being wheeled back on a wheelchair, holding his leg and grimacing in apparent pain. And then he came back later on. And it was
better than fine.
The drama was off the charts. This guy is Willis Reed out here. It's in the wheelchair game. Paul Pierce. And as it turns out, he said, I have a confession to make. I just had to go to the bathroom.
Yes.
Turns out he just had to poop.
Yes.
And so he sort of over-dramatized an injury and said that he had to sit in a wheelchair because he had a little.
He had it coming out.
He had the white shorts on, and he apparently had a little.
It was out.
So
there are pictures zoomed in of him in the white shorts right before that happens with the faintest color of brown right in the crack.
First of all, I don't want to go into that. There's no reason for anyone to put that picture out there. Second of all, this I mean, we've all been there. Listen, we've all had the fart that you think is just kind of sneaks in a little, and you're like, uh-oh. We've always had a little bit of that. You've always had the thing. I remember when I was at a Cedar Point theme park, and I was waiting to ride the Millennium Force, and it was this is the fastest steel coaster at the time. It was in America, maybe the world. I don't know. It was crazy. 300 and some odd feet, like 93 miles an hour. It's crazy. The lines were super long. I had to wait in line forever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm finally into the front of the line.
Mm-hmm.
Finally. And all of a sudden, my stomach starts doing that thing. Where like, this is not a regular, like, I can hold it off for a little while. This is like, we got a red alert. Well, brown alert, let's say. We got
a and I like what you did there.
So it was bad. But I tried, man. I it was in waves. So I would sweat. It's like pouring. I'm trying to hold it off. And because I've been waiting in line forever. And I asked the security guard, I'm like, you've seen me wait. Can I just go to the bathroom and come back? And he's like, no. No getting back in the line. Seriously? No. Okay. So I'm like almost to the front. It is like physically just the pain, and it's bad. But I'm finally I can see the car, we're right there.
Yeah.
And then that last wave hits, and I'm like, nope. Nope. This is coming. And I have to duck out. So I mean, right as we're about to go on there, we're probably the next group to get on the ride. I'm like, oh, I can't, my eyes crossing, I can't see it. And so I don't even know where the bathroom is. I gotta do something. This ain't gonna work. And I know riding a ride is gonna be very bad. That's the worst thing to do. So I have to duck out there's a kind of a wheelchair ramp right next to it that I have to kind of walk down and out. And as I am, people are looking down on me, and they are like, you suck. What, are you scared? Go on the ride. And I mean, they're calling me
oh, that's awful.
Because they think I'm ducking out at the very end. I can't do it. I can't. No, I was ready to go on the ride. But I mean, so I'm getting pelted with insults as I'm going. I don't even know where the bathroom is. I walk my way through the park, and I barely find this. It was a horrible deal. We just about managed to get away with it, but it was seconds away from having to leave the park altogether. And
all right,
but
you made it.
I get where Paul Pierce is coming from, because I would have had to get a wheelchair as well throughout the rest of that whole thing. I get it. Sometimes it's an inopportune moment when crisis hits, but 11. Don't lie about it. Don't be Willis Reed. Come on, man.
Be better than that.
I'm glad he finally told Willis Reed just had to poop. Did we think about that?
No, he came back looking visibly hobbled. That was the thing with Paul Pierce. He got
was
carried.
A particularly tough one.
Okay, maybe it's because I have some where my legs go to sleep sometimes for a little bit. Yeah, you're a little weak. It's a little woozy a little bit. Paul Pierce came back and looked completely fine. I was like, what type of injection did they give this man?
Well, it wasn't something going in. It was something coming out.
Yeah.
That was the key.
Yeah.
Because, you feel like that would hamper your performance. You're holding this thing. You can't focus.
Mm-mm.
Get that poison out.
I had a situation, summer camp. Kids are at summer camp, especially hyper energetic and just annoying for counselors to deal with at times. And so we had a rule. Once you're outside, you're outside. You can't go back in. So we're outside eating lunch. It's like, oh no. Hey, I need to go to the bathroom. You can't go to the bathroom. We're outside. Okay, but I can go out here. I can go in there however you want to play it. That was a situation I did not make it back from. And I did a number on when they finally let me go. I did a number on the stall. It was rough. 10-year-old me was not proud that day. Everything didn't make it. Everything didn't. The draws had to stay, man. They just had to stay.
I mean, it is what it is. You gotta, it's gotta happen sometimes.
Yes. It's coming out whether you let me go to the restroom or not, man.
We are all, you know what? We're all just doing the best we can. And, the body does not respect your position.
No.
Whether you are a king, a queen, whether you are incredibly wealthy or incredibly poor, all of us have a little hint of upset tummy from time to time.
You get the Embiids every now and then.
You get that in those Embiids, and they get you. They get you good. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back and we'll get back on the rails if we can a little bit. Feel free to send in your best stories too at 67129 if you'd like about the time that you had a Paul Pierce moment. Love to share those with everybody on the air. Those are fun.
Yes.
Please feel free to do that. 67129. 67129. Back after this as we continue here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
Take Sports 56 with you on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
Hi, folks. Rob Walker, Infinity of Memphis, and we've got a new Infinity crossover vehicle that has raised the standard of comparison to a new level. Imagine having both sports car performance and eco-friendly efficiency on demand, working together to empower every driving experience. The result of 20 years of engineering, QX50's award-winning variable compression turbo engine is the world's only engine of its kind. Like two engines in one, it delivers a combination of power and efficiency that is truly in a category all its own. And only Infinity has it. You'll never sacrifice performance for the sake of efficiency again. And the new QX50 offers more horsepower than its Audi, Lexus, and Mercedes competitors. Add to that QX50's award-winning sumptuous interior, and you have the best combination of performance and comfort in the mid-size crossover segment.
Infinity of Memphis and online at infinityofmemphis.com.
We've all got places to go. From work to play. Morning to night, it's go, go, go. And then go some more. We go for music, movies, workouts, and checkouts. It's quite the busy little schedule we've got going. And we need something to keep up with it all. To keep up with life on the go. That's where Valero top-tier certified quality fuel comes in. It keeps your engine running cleaner, better, and longer. So you can get right back to going. Find a station near you at valerocleangas.com.
Upon official review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
We deliver jerseys, funny foam fingers, and everything you need to get ready for the game. But what you really get when FedEx knocks on your door is so much more.
FedEx Delivery.
Game day spirit. What we deliver by delivering.
Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Lads for your zero-turn mower and golf car needs. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Now you got it.
In honor of Paul Pierce.
Funk. This goes get a little funky.
On last night. Oh, such a good song.
What about Juice Jones? Come on now.
Orange Juice Jones, baby.
Juice Jones.
I saw you and him.
Oh, that's some funk, kind of, sort of, a little bit. Tough story. We talked about some of the things that we've all been through. Peter and CJ with you. Here, and texter points out when nature calls, you better answer the phone. It's a good point. Another texter, we were talking about the Lowry and the fan push real fast. Texter says, because people never get angry when folks crash into their friends. Guys, when you're sitting courtside at an NBA game, there's a chance that you're going to get hit. That's part of the deal. That's part of the thing. Kyle Lowry didn't go run and crash into the guy's friend because he didn't like him or her. This was him chasing. That's
exactly what he did.
I mean, that
ball was just a front.
That mindset is so bizarre to me. Oh, you crashing my friend. I'm mad. What are you talking about? We're in an NBA game. I'm trying to chase the ball. You're sitting here. I mean, it's like, what are you like? Oh, I'm mad because that golfer hit me in the head with a ball. You're standing on the course. He didn't hit you. He hit the ball. The ball happened to hit you. What are you talking about?
No, that's not how that works at all, Peter. Kyle Lowry was headhunting. You saw him go over there with enough force. He could have stopped. He could have not dove in there. He could have not been a hustler. That's what he should have did. He should have not tried so hard to get at that loose ball. Then he wouldn't have recklessly crashed into people sitting courtside at the game and wouldn't have warranted being pushed in the shoulder.
Well, it was very, very...
Wow, just good God.
Very silly.
He sat her back down. He hit her so hard. She is standing up, and he goes in there and hits her, and she sits down in the chair.
As a side note, too, the officiating crew in this game was horrible.
Oh, gosh.
And you get what you deserve when you put Mark Davis as the lead ref in an NBA Finals game. That's an insult.
This is the best they have.
I mean,
that was awful.
It's been rough these last two games.
Whole playoffs, it's been bad.
Mark Davis, number 8 on your referee scorecard, is terrible. He has been terrible for a long time, and he was terrible last night, and will continue to be terrible. That is how it works. I'm just telling you, it's awful to watch him. He's out of position so much of the time. He late calls are just
so many late calls.
And they got the back court thing. I don't even know what they were thinking, but that was like a high school deal. You wouldn't do that in high school. They missed 2 goaltendings that were like anyone could have seen those goaltendings. That was extremely obvious. And then they made up for them with some bad charge calls and stuff on the other end. Like they had absolutely no control. It ended up not hurting anybody because they were so bad on both sides. But that shouldn't be the saving grace. Like your incompetence was just so bad that it worked for both. It worked everywhere. It worked fine. Two wrongs don't make a right. It was.
And I'm pretty sure one of those plays Steph doubled. And not like 2 hands on the ball. I mean, dribbled, picked it up, shot fake, dribbled again. I'm pretty sure that happened.
We were all over the place. It was so. I'm not shocked. It didn't end up changing the tenor of the game, but my God, like we've got to do better.
Yes.
Than that. Mark Davis can't be the lead ref. That cannot happen. We can't be in that much of a crisis. Of refereeing.
Maybe the refs are injured. Maybe they're injured. Maybe the Kevin Durant of referees is down and the Klay Thompson of referees went down also. So they're going to the McKinney of refs.
We can't.
Going to the Repco of refs.
I mean, he'd be better.
Oh, boy. The last 2 games have been very poorly officiated, and it's getting lost in all the other storylines, and it hasn't cost anybody anything significant quite yet. But the moment that a blown call or a made call that is horrible, the moment that it costs you something, then it'll be all we can talk about. And the NBA needs to step in before it gets to that point and put better officials on the game.
I mean, it makes sense to most people. Now, this story, I think we can all relate to the. Yeah, I like it when stories are relatable. We can all relate to this. What is 2% grooving to in there?
He's listening to funk.
You're right. I was.
He's listening to funk. Funk makes you do that.
He's just grooving.
That's why we need the camera over there. He was getting it.
I mean, I'm glad he's into funk. I want him to listen to our show, but
No, listen to funk. Like knock that out.
Anyway, it's relatable. This is a story that's relatable. We've all been there. Who among us, right? There, but by the grace of God, go all of us. Authorities say 2 female acquaintances vanished with $500,000 in jewelry from NFL running backs Le'Veon Bell's Florida home. Hollywood, Florida. Police say that Bell returned from the gym May 25th and found the women gone and his jewelry missing. The police report obtained by the AP refers to the 2 women as Bell's girlfriends. Again, we've all been there. You go to the gym, You got your girlfriends at the house. You got $500,000 in jewelry in the closet. You come back and everybody's gone. I mean, come on.
We've all done that, right?
I mean, we've all been there. Le'Veon.
Happens to me all the time.
I mean, that's 2 or 3 times this week. He said items in his closet were in disarray and all his jewelry was missing, including 2 gold chains with diamonds, a Black Panther pendant with black and white diamonds.
They took the Wakanda pendant?
That's right. They took the Wakanda.
They took T'Challa? No, he's got to get T'Challa back.
Was it T'Challa? I mean, do we know for sure?
It was Black Panther. Like that's who the Black Panther is. No, T'Challa.
I know that. I'm saying, but I don't know that it was specifically T'Challa. Maybe it was, a different logo. Maybe it was the logo of the film. Maybe it was M'Baku. Maybe it was Killmonger. Who knows?
A Killmonger pennant would be cool. Yeah. A Guerrilla Warrior pennant. The M'Baku. Like that pendant would be cool too. Maybe a Shuri.
I'm looking for Black Panther pendant on Google. I've seen it, and there's a picture of him where it's pretty awesome actually. It's the mask, and it's pretty wild. So it's actually just the mask, and it's pretty fantastic.
I'd imagine it looks like the popsicles that are the character popsicles, like SpongeBob or Ninja Turtles or like Tweety Bird. Only instead of being delicious ice cream, it is diamonds.
It's diamonds.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it looks cool, right?
Wow. Loan me a couple bucks. I need this.
Well, Le'Veon Bell's good. His girlfriend's.
I need to hit them up.
You need to hit them up. He said those all the value of the items, $520,000. Police are investigating. So again, heads up, everybody. When I think in general, CJ, this is just, we've seen it with a lot of people in the past, and this is just another example. Whether you're in Hollywood, Florida, or whether you're in Utah, or whether you're in Los Angeles, or wherever it may be, if you've got multiple girlfriends living with you in your home, it will not end well. One way or the other. It may seem in your mental mind
and I don't know,
like something that would be wonderful and spectacular in its own way. And maybe for a time it is. Maybe it is letters to Penthouse come to life. But it's going to end badly. This is actually probably the easiest way it could end badly. This is actually he got off light compared to some of the other stories that are out there.
I don't know how this thought is in people's mental minds. Like, yeah, I'm just going to have 2 girlfriends and they're both going to live with me.
And I'm just going to leave my jewelry list around.
Make this work.
Yeah, that'd be good.
No. That's not how this goes. Because they plot on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what he did? Girl, he did the same thing to me. What we gonna do? Get this money? Where's that Black Panther pendant? I don't know. Let's get it. Wakanda forever. Salute. And then they go and get your stuff, man. Like, it's not a good look. It's not good at all.
Now, he did, he did just sign a 4-year deal with $35 million guaranteed bucks. So I feel badly that he lost the cool pendant.
He go get it.
But I'm not just super duper upset with it. He's gonna be okay.
He'll be all right.
He's gonna be all right.
He'll be fine.
He seems okay. Just let that be a lesson to all you youngsters out there.
Get one. To quote Herm Edwards, you get one house, one car, one wife. Not a wife, a mistress, and a girlfriend. That's not what you get. Get one. Good grief. People don't know that? Like, that's what's part of that's the deal. We make the game look glamorous. And it is glamorous for a point in time, like you were saying. For a period, it's a great idea. But when that game ends, it is horrible. It is real ugly when the game ends.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
For everybody.
Yep. There's no good way for it to
just
ease off. One of your girls becomes your
what you gonna do? Rotate?
Wife, and the other girl is just gonna ease out of the picture.
No,
that ain't gonna happen. No, she ain't gonna like that.
No, God forbid, there's some infidelity going on. something about the agreed circumstances, you break one of that and you try and bring a third one through.
I mean,
like, no.
Trade deadline comes up. I mean, then you're going to be rumored.
No. Nobody has enough salary cap for two. Everybody goes into the luxury tax if you got two. Get one. One.
Oh, he paid the luxury tax, all right.
Oh, yes, he did. Sometimes you got to pay the taxes to the streets, man. You want to play the game, the streets get their taxes, man. Play that game and pay the tax. We all done paid the street tax in our life.
He certainly did. Let's take a break. We'll come back. Hour number 2 on the way. Omari Sankofa. We'll talk about the finals with Omari. We'll talk about some of the interesting things popping up with the Grizzlies. There are a few little, as I said, some interesting little tidbits around the Grizzlies these days. We'll discuss all of that when we continue. Hour number 2, Funk Tuesday. Funk Thursday.
It's a funky day, man.
Let me try that again. Funk Thursday. Just edit that out. This is not live, is it?
No.
Okay, good. All right. We'll back after this.
Lowe's knows dads do it right by having go-to brands and knowing where to get them. We do it right too, with savings on the brands he loves that also make great Father's Day gifts he'll love. Stop in today during Craftsman Days for all kinds of deals on Craftsman tools and power equipment, like a Craftsman 21-inch gas push mower now for just $199. For the perfect gift to make his day. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offer valid through 6/19. See store for details, U.S. only.
Let's talk about service and promises. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors, the oldest real estate company in town, celebrating our 150th year this year. Have you tried reaching someone for service recently? How hard has it been? Has someone sold you a product and you were disappointed? I've been there just like you. That is why my real estate business is based on satisfaction before, during, and after the sale. You may have heard the corny phrase, when you want the job done, call Sheldon. Well, it's true. No rash promises, just a highly successful strategic marketing program with the Shellbucks option. It can mean the difference in whether you sit or sell. If you or someone you know is thinking of selling, do yourself a favor. Always make sure and talk to 2 to 3 brokers and let me be one of them. I'm Sheldon Rosengarten at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. Do it now, 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com.
Plunge on into the Super Summer Sale at Family Leisure. Complete pools starting at only $12.99. 24-foot above-ground pools starting at $19.99 installed. 4-piece deep seating patio sets starting at $7.99. Holly Adirondacks 20% off. Spas starting at $17.99. Swim spa starting at $99.99. Family Leisure has great prices on all outdoor kitchens and pergolas. Lowest prices guaranteed. The Super Summer Sale at Family Leisure, Wooden Road at I-40.
We've all got places to go, from work to play. Morning to night, it's go, 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 and then go some more. We go for music, movies, workouts, and checkouts. It's quite the busy little schedule we've got going. And we need something to keep up with it all, to keep up with life on the go. That's where Valero top-tier certified quality fuel comes in. It keeps your engine running cleaner, better, and longer, so you can get right back to going. Find a station near you at valerocleangas.com.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 87.7 FM, as well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app, and at home, tell Alexa or Google to play Sports 56. If it's happening in the world of sports, we've got it covered. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
I'm here with Anna and Catherine, 2 of Mr. Charlie Burgos' granddaughters at the Rendezvous restaurant. Okay, ladies, you guys and gals now ship a Rendezvous nacho box. Why had no one thought of that before?
We do. We have no idea. Someone suggested it to us, and at first even we went, can we make that work? So we sent a bunch of sample boxes to friends and family to only rave reviews.
Okay, so what comes in the nacho box?
You get Rendezvous pulled pork, a bag of Brim's corn chips, a bottle of Rendezvous barbecue sauce, a bottle of Rendezvous seasoning, a tub of nacho's cheese dip, and a jar of Flo's pickled jalapenos from Felicia Suzanne's. The box is $99, which includes overnight shipping. It makes 6 to 8 full dinner-sized nachos, or feeds way more if you're just serving it as an appetizer. It truly is a perfect taste of Memphis. A great gift for family, friends, clients, coworkers, or just some Memphis expats.
Where do we order these delicious nachos?
At hogsfly.com.
Mr. Charlie Virgos' Rendezvous Restaurant, a family-owned restaurant in downtown Memphis in the alley since 1948.
Your home for the Ole Miss Rebels. Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and WPGF-LP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurts. This hour is brought to you by Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment Center, specializing in stem cell treatment for your neck, back, hips, knees, shoulders, and autoimmune diseases. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Now this is some funk right here.
Yeah.
You want some real funk? Midnight Star.
It's like techno.
It is not like techno. No. Just because it's got a robot sort of theme does not mean it's techno.
What is wrong with you, 2%?
Be your freakazoid. Hey. Come on and wind me up.
Hey.
Come on, I'll be your freakazoid. Hey. Come on and wind me up. That's a great song, right? Woo! That's what they're telling Le'Veon Bell. Oh.
Get it.
And then you can't help but listen to this and just start kind of shake a little bit.
You gotta get it when this comes on.
Getting down a little bit. Yeah. Hour number 2 is here. Peter and CJ with you. The Experience. What do you can't wait to get rid of that music. You're just like done.
At all.
You just leave that thing.
We have that limit thing.
No, we don't.
It's fine.
It's fine.
We hadn't been in trouble for that in a long time.
Yeah, we're good.
We figured out what's going on with that.
Yeah, come on. Just play consistently.
So can we pull it back up just a little bit? Just a little bit.
There you go. So, hour number 2 is here. Feel free to get freaky in your car. It's rainy, nasty, kind of humid, just one of those. Not a great day out there. So, why not get freaky in your own personal space? In your car, shower, bed, wherever you happen to be listening to the program. A lot of people listen to us in a lot of interesting areas, and that's great. I hear all kinds of stories about that, what we provide for folks. And I think that's great.
I know somebody who listens as part of their morning routine in the shower.
Exactly right.
Don't dance in the shower to this because you'll mess around and slip and fall.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta get it.
That's true.
Come on, boy.
That's true. You can't help it. You gotta leave it just like that. It's beautiful.
We're gonna have fun in the Hurt household tonight.
So that's what's going on today. Ugly, rainy day most of the day. Sorry. But we're going to make your day a little better here in just a second with Amari Sankofa coming up here momentarily. The Raptors winners last night, 123-109. Series now 2-1 to the Raptors, and a lot of questions about the Warriors, especially if they can't get healthy. Kevin Durant, will he play? Don't know. Game 4 tomorrow. Not a lot of time to get things healed up. Klay Thompson missed his first playoff game as a Warrior last night, and it was crucial. Big loss there. Steph Curry went crazy. Full Devin Booker. 47 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, scoring a ton of points with a team that's not very good around him. That's just kind of where he was. DeMarcus Cousins was Paul Pierce-like. He was just poop out there. Not Paul Pierce-like.
Wait, Paul Pierce-like?
Yeah, we know he was. He was a lot of Paul Pierce.
A lot of credit for him. 1 of 7.
Yeah. Unlike Paul Pierce, he didn't even get 2. Couldn't get number 2. Paul Pierce got number 2.
I see what you did there. I like that.
So we've been, you're the only one. Paul didn't like it very much. So that was that. We've got potentially a big week ahead for your Memphis Grizzlies. Joining us now to talk about that and much more is my pal and your pal, Amari Sankofa from The Athletic. He's my colleague over there. You can follow him on Twitter at Amari Sankofa. Got a great deal going right now over at The Athletic. 7-day free trial and a 30% off if you want to go ahead and subscribe. So now's a great time to do that. Omari, what's up, man? How are you?
Pete, how's it going, man? How's it going, CJ?
What up, Omari?
You like funk? You into Funk Thursday?
Oh man, I grew up with all the classics. You know, obviously being from Motown, like the Edmiston, to all that. Occasionally, I just throw out some heat waves just to
always and forever.
Yeah, you know, you got Groove Line, you got some hits. That's right up my alley.
See, Amari knows his music.
Yes,
Amari knows his music. He's one of the new breed of sports / music reporters that we have in this town.
There are a lot of them popping up around here now.
Yeah, got music critic / Grizzlies beat writer.
And Evan Barnes, music critic / Tigers football beat.
He and Evan have a lot of chats that are always illuminating to me.
And they do them on Twitter, which I appreciate because I can just eavesdrop and just follow along. It's great. I don't feel like creepy at all by doing it. Thank you, Amari, for that.
Yeah, no, it's nice getting down here. Yeah, I mean, everybody tweets about music, and it's wonderful. I do the exact same thing. Somebody will mention something I haven't heard, and I just kind of make a quick note, look it up on YouTube real quick. Maybe make a little playlist, expand my musical horizons. It's really nice. It's funny because that happens in Detroit a lot too. I think it's just you're in a city that has a deep music history. You feel a little bit more inclined to just dropping them into TL, see what people think. Sometimes it catches, sometimes it doesn't. But it's nice. It's nice. Being Evans has music, and it's awesome.
Well, you got a lot on your plate. Because before we talk about the Grizzlies, let's talk real quick. Last night, what did you make of Game 3? And do you think the Warriors? I mean, we're assuming that you're going to see Clay back at some point. I don't know how close to 100% he's going to be. You think there's a decent chance that KD comes back in Game 4? I mean, it's getting down to kind of desperation at this point. Do you think the Warriors have that push? Are you still favoring them, or do you think right now it's the Raptors to lose?
I think at this point it's the Raptors to lose. I think losing Klay Thompson and last year still waiting for Durant, but I think losing Klay was sort of a catalyst there. I think Golden State no longer has that intangible thing that they usually have, where you never really count them out, even if they're down 20. Now they're going to need Durant to come back for Game 4 to have a shot, because if they go down 3-1 after Game 4, and Toronto obviously has Game 5 and Game 7 in Toronto, at that point, I think the scales just be tipped too far. Just in Toronto's direction. I originally predicted Golden State in 7, but they're just too battered. We saw it last night. Steph Curry, that was his career high in points for a playoff game. It just wasn't enough. We've never really seen this version of Golden State before. And Toronto's deep. You see Danny Green go off from 3 finally, and it seems like whenever they can get a second player going outside of Kawhi Leonard, second or third player, that's all they really need. That's what they didn't have in Game 2. And, maybe now that Danny Green's getting them to fall, obviously, Van Fleet's been great. Kawhi's kind of nursing that, I believe it's his hamstring, and he's kind of been not what he was before. But if they can just get contributions across the board, I think they're in good shape.
So you bring up Kawhi Leonard, a.k.a. Boardman, who gets paid. Is he going to be paid by Toronto next year if they win? Or do you think there's a chance, even if they win the finals, that he bolts in free agency?
It's hard to see him leaving a finals team, just as, especially considering that, the past, I think it's still going to be harder in the West. Not that I think he'll shy away from that, because obviously he was in the West until this season, but it just makes sense to stay in Toronto. They can offer him more money, even if it's a 2-year deal. He can make more those 2 years, and he can make 2 years elsewhere. It's a finals team. You get next season, like assuming Marcus Gasol comes back, everything goes back a very similar team, and see what you can do. It just makes sense. It's hard to see just wanting to leave a finals team that's up 2-1 on Golden State. You never really know. NBA is crazy. This stuff happens every summer, but this is a pretty ideal situation for him.
All right, so I'm curious, Amari. We are 1 week away from the deadline that Jonas Valanciunas has to opt in on his player option of $17.6 million for final year of his deal. If he opts in, he's got one more year at 17.6, bing, bang, boom. If he opts out, well, then that opens up a whole different set of possibilities. Maybe an extension with the Grizzlies longer term, which is something that he has told me on a couple different occasions that he's certainly open to, or somewhere else if he doesn't like the situation. He had some comments to Donatas Urbonas of Lithuanian basketball reporter in Lithuania. I guess this was on Tuesday at the Lithuanian Basketball Awards, which I just missed. I was invited, but I couldn't go. I was very disappointed.
Oh man,
I couldn't go pick up my Lithuanian award, but Donatas picked it up for me.
Okay, good.
But while he was over there, he said that he made a couple of little snarky comments about how maybe this coaching search is taking a little too long. Maybe they were waiting for the right guy. Maybe he was still in the season, and he looked over at Sarunas Jasikevičius, and his season is over now. He said, well, maybe not. He says the coach matters a lot to him, and that he wants to see what's going on. Did you take anything from those comments to indicate that maybe Jonas is starting to look away from the Grizzlies? How do you think this thing plays out?
Yeah, that was, I believe that's the second time this offseason that Jonas mentioned that he wanted to see how things play out with the coaching search. But the thing with Jonas, as you said, he has a player option worth $17.6 billion. In my mind, like, even if he doesn't like the direction the team is going in, and I get why he wants an ideal situation because, he had an extended role after the trade deadline. He got to Memphis, and the ball was in his hands. He was allowed to operate. It totally makes sense that he would want a similar situation next season. Like next summer he'll be 28. He could opt into his player option, cash in, and then next summer he's 28. He can sign a deal elsewhere. He'll still be in his prime. It's hard for me to see the upside of declining that player option this summer and leaving, potentially a lot of money on the table because you don't like who the Grizzlies hired as a head coach. I guess for one, it's not just who they hire as a head coach. It's the role that head coach has in mind for Jonas, which is something that he wouldn't necessarily fully know until later into the season. So I guess, like maybe he has his own preference there, where he feels like, well, this coach could do a bigger role, this coach wouldn't. But that's something I thought we wouldn't truly know until closer to the season. So, he's informing his decision based on just kind of reading the tea leaves and figuring out what would be the best situation for him. But just from a pure financial standpoint, it's hard to see any choice being better for him than just opting in. If you don't like the direction the team is going, just parting ways next summer when you're a free agent. You don't have to sign the extension if you don't want to, but to turn on that $17.6 billion of his money on the table, to me, doesn't completely add up when he's going to be a free agent next year. So that's kind of my take on it.
Well, with the opposite take on that is that he wants to play, right? He was a starter for Toronto for much of his tenure there, and then this year he rolled the bench. He didn't play near as much as he had been accustomed to playing. He gets to Memphis, and he's played a lot down the stretch for the Grizzlies. Well, with Jaren Jackson Jr. coming back healthy, and depending on who they hire, they might not have a role for Jonas. Do you think he'd be okay coming back and playing a role similar to the one he played in Toronto, or a lesser role than that, just for the money?
Yeah, that's tough to say because like just based on what he said, during the season, after the season, he enjoyed the bigger role he had here in Memphis so much better than coming off the bench in Toronto. Obviously he's a competitor. He likes to play. He likes the ball in his hands, and Memphis was the perfect situation for him. With Jaren out, with Marcus Gasol in Toronto, for him to be sort of that featured player. It's possible that with Jaren presumably healthy going into next season, playing most of the season, that depending on what happens in free agency or whatever else, how the rotation's looking, that Jaren would eat into James' time anyway. I guess my question is that if it's not here, but it's going to get the same way you had last season, what team is going to be the team that's going to give him that same role? What team is in the obvious need of a big who can post up, rebound, have some limitations defensively, and there's a bit more of a throwback in today's league where you see more centers kind of like the Capella type, where then you're playing in space, cutting, all that stuff. So, I'm not sure if Jonas can figure out the answers to these questions within the next week. So he kind of has to make a decision, just kind of based on where he sees things going beyond his next season, which to me is still why it makes more sense just to become a free agent next summer and give yourself that flexibility.
Yeah, it's that. Well, the only downside of that is if he all of a sudden is part of a team where the Grizzlies have a coach who de-emphasizes him, then his value as a free agent is lessened over the course of this next year. Then he does pocket $17.6 million, which is more than he probably would get in free agency as the first year of a multi-year deal. But then he would potentially lower that value a lot. I mean, there's a ton of centers on the market this offseason, which is complicating the value. It's a really tough one. It's there's I don't think there's an easy answer for Jonas. On the coaching search front, Omari, what's going on? Like, I mean, this has been. I get some of the previous coaching searches have, you've landed on a coach around this time, late May, early June, something like that. But typically they haven't been after a non-playoff season. I mean, the Grizzlies hired Dave Yeager right after Lionel Hollins was not offered a new contract after they had made the run to the Western Conference Finals. So it was in like June because the team had played through basically until then. Same thing with all these other moves they've been made. That they had, JB was brought back after the team was halfway decent and had a moment. They only took about 3 weeks or so after that season of kind of injury and everything else to decide that they wanted to bring him back into the mix. The Fizdale thing, same kind of thing, where Dave Yeager, they lost the first round, and you knew that Dave knew the whole thing was coming to an end. It hasn't typically taken like 8 weeks plus to do all this, but we're getting towards that point now. I'll just say this: I don't buy the fact that you have to wait. If you wanted to hire one of the coaches from the Raptors or the Warriors, you want to hire Adrian Griffin, or you want to hire Jaron Collins or whoever, you could hire them, and they could still coach. That has happened before. Monty Williams, the Suns made it clear they were hiring him before the Sixers season was over. Mm-hmm. So I don't think you have to. I'm not buying that. If they were set on one of those dudes, they could be set on him, and they can in fact go ahead and say they're going to hire him. Guess what? 2 or 3 guys on the Warriors coaching staff already know they're going somewhere else after this. They've already the deals are already done. So I don't buy that. Omari, what's going on?
Yeah, like this really is sort of a unique situation. Like we're entering month 2 of the off season, and not a whole lot has changed. They got the second pick, which could be John, could be RJ, but beyond that, they're mostly in the same position they were when last season ended. You look back at non-playoff teams, it took a while to make a hire. You look at the Pistons last year, they were unique because they had Stan Van Gundy, who was the president and the coach. And it took them, essentially a little bit more than a month to figure out, well, are we just going to strip the front office role? Are we going to keep him in the front office and strip the coach? And Van Gundy fought for both, and eventually they just parted ways entirely. That was the whole thing not to work out. And once they actually made that decision, it took them 3 or 4 weeks to hire Dwayne Casey, who became available after he was let go by the Raptors when they lost the Eastern Conference Finals. That was unique. The Grizzlies haven't, interviewed any former head coaches outside of, like the former Suns coach. And that was another non-playoff team, so it's not like you have to wait for him to finish things up. You consider they're doing their due diligence. I also think part of it is that there's not necessarily an imaginary deadline, because things have been pretty static with the roster and everything else. You don't have to rush and make that decision. Yet the draft is in 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks from today, and they're doing private workouts. I think they just had their either a 3rd or 4th round, mm-hmm. 4th round of private workouts yesterday, right. And they're being conducted by the front office. They're not being conducted by a coaching staff because there are no coaches, on the staff right now. So it's interesting. It's unique. It's a little puzzling. Like you said, I think if they had a candidate that they really truly wanted, they would have hired them by now because there's no upside to it's odd. I think last week I said I would expect it to be done before the draft because why wouldn't it be? That's still where I'm at. But, at this point, it's hard to say when it'll wrap up.
I mean, are you going to you trying to like sign free agents with like you can't even figure out who the coach is going to be? I don't. There is a fine line between doing your due diligence and waffling and not being able to make a decision. There's a fine line between being able to actually know and have the courage of your conviction to go ahead and make the call that you need to make versus just like, boy, I just don't know if we can, going back and forth. Or, if you want to throw this out there, because, information is not flowing from the Grizzlies folks at all. But I know if you read the little nugget from Mark Stein in his latest newsletter from the New York Times, he mentioned something that word on the street is that the Grizzlies were looking to have an assistant coach on the staff with a dual assistant coach / front office role, which to me sounds like a terrible idea. Do you put any stock in that?
I agree. I think that it would be a very odd thing to do. I think that would create a power dynamic, and I guess the idea there could be, if you want to create synergy between the coaching staff and front office, which teams have done in the past with, Mr. Stan Van Gundy, you had Doc Rivers in LA, who was the president and coach. And then I believe Mike Budenholzer in Atlanta too, right? He was the coach and president. All three of those failed because, it was just too much for one person and it didn't really have the upside that, whatever upside they imagined it would have, it just didn't exist. Doc Rivers, he ended up giving up the front office role and just became coach, and they were better off for it. The Pistons, they got Dwayne Casey, who was just the coach. Lloyd Pierce for Atlanta is just the coach now. If that didn't work out, I don't understand why it would be inherently better to have an assistant with that role, because I would send the message that this assistant has more responsibility or more power than your head coach. And as a head coach, that just does not seem to be an ideal setup, especially considering that head coaches already don't really have great job security in this league, particularly when you're coaching a team like the Grizzlies who seem to be primed to miss the playoffs for yet another year. So I was, I saw that. I was surprised to see it. I'm kind of struggling to see, how there's more upside to draw back in that situation. And presumably you would also hire that person separate from the head coach because, I'm not sure why you would let your head coach hire this person who's also going to be, front office personnel. That's something that the front office would do. So, yeah, that's definitely a little confusing, and I don't really understand the upside to that scenario, given that we've already seen it fail several times.
I mean, again, it's bad enough, and if it were the head coach, then to me that I don't think that's a very good idea. And I think as you pointed out, we've seen it doesn't work these days because they're typically conflicting motivations. Said coaches are trying to save their jobs and are much more short term. Organizations are more long term, that kind of thing. But at least it's the one guy that's in charge of both rooms. He would be in charge of the front office room and he would be in charge of the coaching room. What you can't have, in my mind, is an assistant coach who was hired by the organization and sort of pushed on whoever the coach would be. I mean, we're seeing this in LA, the Lakers doing this thing. Like, that's bad enough. Coaches aren't going to be just super pumped about you hiring somebody onto their staff for them. But even still, on top of that, how can you then have trust within that room? Because every meeting then becomes a job evaluation. Every coaches meeting becomes one time he said he got really mad and then he did this and now you're going off and snitching to the principal's office about what happened. So then that just, to me, destabilizes the trust in the room of like what's going on. It's like when we read the story that Baxter Holmes did for ESPN about Rob Pelinka just hanging out in the coach's office. Like that doesn't, you got to have a separation there. So this strikes me as a Robert Pera idea. Like I could hear that coming from Robert Pera. Like, why don't we do that? And everyone's kind of like, okay, Robert, like and I guess trying to sort of humor him to some extent. But if they go through with it, I think it's a huge mistake.
I agree. And one thing we talked about too, just previously, looking at kind of broad that they need to accomplish with the hire is that you need to empower your head coach. You need to empower your head coach, let them operate, give them the faith that regardless of how you do, as far as your record, you trust them that they will figure it out and see it through. Worked with Brooklyn and Kenny Atkinson, has worked with Philadelphia and Brett Brown. If the Grizzlies are going to, assuming that they go through a rebuild and, they don't go all in like they did last season on, competing for the playoffs. You're going to need a head coach who can see this process through, because we're looking at potentially 3, 4, even 5 years of, like even missing the playoffs or just barely getting in as like a 7 or 8 seed. And if you hire a coach and don't have an assistant, there's also part of the front office. I thought empowering the head coach to be that sends the message that from day one, we don't value you as much as you want to be valued. We value this assistant more because we handpick them, and clearly we are entrusting them with more responsibility. You already have a liaison in Tayshaun Prince, whose job is advertised as being sort of a connective tissue between the front office, the coaching staff, and the players. In some capacity, been in all 3 roles. If you already have Tayshaun, I don't feel like you need an assistant because I guess something similar, assuming that the idea is that he's a liaison between the front office and coaching staff. Maybe he has some other role in mind. I'm not sure. But long story short, I just don't see the upside in this scenario. I think that's a mistake, and I think it sends the wrong message to the new head coach.
Yeah, and I think it would, especially with them being new to the job and fairly inexperienced, this would be perceived as something that you would do in that situation. That you're new and inexperienced, making that kind of a mistake. Omari, thank you, great stuff, and I will tell everybody, Omari, you got some fun coming up for the Ja Morant folks out there.
Ooh.
I don't. You can reveal. You can tell a little bit if you want to. It's up to you. I'm not going to spoil your fun, but folks are going to check it out soon at the Athletic.
Yes, stay tuned. Going into the draft, we've been working, and it should be a lot of fun. Things have been stagnant last few weeks, but I think things are going to start ramping up. And as Pete said, we got some stuff coming, so stay tuned.
That's right. Omari, thanks, man. Appreciate it, bud.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Omari.
Omari Sankofa from The Athletic at Omari Sankofa. We'll take a break and return. We'll get back into this, a couple of these other little Grizzly tidbits, and we'll get more into it. If you have a thought on the Jonas Valanciunas situation, let us know on the First Bank phone lines, 360-8255, or the First Bank text lines, 67129. Do you think Jonas opts in, opts out? What would you do? What do you want to see happen? Does it change the value of that trade if he ends up opting out? How much should that matter in the pursuit of a head coach if a guy like Jonas is endorsing that sort of thing? So we'll get into those texts as well. Also, the coaching situation and more. 360-8255, 67129, live and local here on The Experience, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab a seat for Happy Hour. Johnny Radio's Happy Hour from 1 to 3 on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
The show is about to begin.
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Season tickets for the 2019 Memphis Tigers football season are on sale now and start at $100 when you buy 4 in the Family Fun Zone and $150 for end zone seats. The 6-game home schedule is highlighted with matchups against regional foe Ole Miss, plus AAC rivals Cincinnati and Navy. A season ticket includes the same great seat for all 6 home games, plus priority options to buy single game tickets, bowl tickets, and more. Be part of the incredible game day experience and get your seats today at GoTigersGo.com or call 901-678-2331. Stripe up.
You'll see the dedication in every single step. You'll see it in the smiles when smiles are hard to get. You'll see it in the little things that add up to success. The caring and passion are the things that we love best.
Wolf Chase Limb Brace is your Mid-South provider for orthotics and prosthetics. They are an ABC accredited facility, and their practitioners are ABC certified. At Wolf Chase Limb Brace, their services include artificial limbs, legs and arms, braces of all kinds, and custom molded inserts. You can call them today at 901-507-7821 for their location on Highway 64 in between Germantown Parkway and Appling Road, or visit them at their new location in Jackson, Tennessee. That number is 731-660-5900, or visit them on the web at wolfchaselemembrace.com.
Dedicated our life to yours. Wolf Chase Limb and Brace.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurts. This hour is brought to you by Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment Center, specializing in stem cell treatment for your neck, back, hips, knees, shoulders, and autoimmune diseases. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
The health bar, muscle slow. You can best believe that he's a macho man. Ready to get down with
Do it.
anyone he can.
Get your boy. Get your boy.
What are you doing?
This is funk.
This is
No,
not
this is
funk.
disco.
This is literally funk.
It is
Says
not funk.
It says it is who?
Can you not hear the differences in how this song sounds?
Okay,
versus
there's
the
different
other
versions of
funk songs?
rock and there's different versions of rap. They all sound different.
No, but we're asking for a specific genre though. Like it would be like playing Marilyn Manson on Soft Rock Tuesdays. You get what I'm saying? It'll be like playing Korn.
I don't know funk music.
Well, lean on us.
He gave you lists.
Come ask us.
No list was given.
He was excited. He was excited as hell for this
I like
song.
this song.
Also, it's a great song. Don't get me wrong. Borderline jams list. Not quite there. Great song, but it's not funk though. That is the deal.
I'm just.
I got to.
That's not even.
It's called, the playlist is called Funk Outta Here.
Yeah. Get that thing, the funk out of here, then, because that is an awful list. It is not good. Just in between breaks, come holler at us.
Can I beg you, please do not use Spotify playlists as your arbiters for what genre of music it is. Don't use that as your thing. Oh, the Spotify playlist is. I mean, that's some dude or some girl who the hell are they? They don't know.
No, it's actual Spotify's its own playlist. It's theirs.
Yeah, Spotify is wrong.
Yeah, that doesn't, just because it has the word funk in it doesn't mean it's like actual funk.
It's under the genre.
Get the funk out of here.
Get the funk out of here. Get the funk out of here with that.
That doesn't.
Watch your tone.
No, you watch the funk music.
You don't watch funk music. You listen to it.
Now he's gonna be Mr. Smart Guy, Mr. Wise Cracker over there. Okay, wise guy. What?
Say it again.
I'm not. I didn't even realize that one was happening.
Oh, what you said?
Until Peter shot me the look. I'm like, oh,
it's okay. It doesn't affect me at all.
Yeah, that is not.
That's funny.
That's funny though.
Not how that should be perceived.
No, it's not. But it's funny.
No,
it was funny.
It's not.
It's pretty funny.
CJ's gonna hurt now.
It's pretty funny. I thank Amari Sankofa for joining us and talking a little bit about this situation. The Grizzlies do not have a head coach. Let me check just a second. Nope, still don't have a head coach this morning. We'll keep asking. Will they get one by the end of the week?
I said yes. They will get one by Saturday.
Okay. Well, you're running out of time.
You got 2 more days.
48 hours. It could happen at any point in time. The whole idea, as I said with Omari, I don't understand, CJ. If you wanted to hire one of the coaches from this series, which some people say, oh, you got to wait till you do not have to wait.
No,
until it's over. You can agree, as we've talked about. There are members of that Golden State coaching staff who are leaving Steve Kerr's staff to go take other jobs. Those have already been agreed to.
Mm-hmm.
It's already done. Contracts, signed or agreed upon or whatever. But it's all in the books. So there's no question. If you want to hire Adrian Griffin, for example, the Raptors assistant coach, then you could say we're gonna hire him, and we've agreed to a deal, and he's going to continue coaching. Great, obviously through the end of the NBA Finals,
right?
And that'll be that on that. Done. Like or same thing.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Didn't it happen with Luke Walton when he was with the Lakers? When he got hired?
When he was with the Warriors,
Lakers.
Right. Well, but and again, beyond that, Monty Williams just earlier this playoffs. Same thing with Phoenix. They hired him while he was still with in the mix with the Philly. So I don't buy that.
No.
So to me, we're getting to the point now of like, I mean, are we just unable to make the decision, or are we having problems like attracting the right level of candidate? Are we just dithering around and we can't actually settle on what we want to do? Are we having some disagreements about like what's going on? At some point, I don't think it's a crisis or anything like that. It doesn't really matter, I guess, at the end of the day. But at some point, if you continue to go through and you don't hear anything at all, it starts to become worrisome.
I was about to say, should we be worried?
I mean, not yet. No, but if you're like, a few days before the draft and you don't have a coach, that seems crazy.
Well, it's just weird now. This time they're taking this long. Yeah. After every time it's taking them pretty quickly. Now, for this coach, it wants to take them a long time.
We are worried because
maybe it has an effect on the number 2 pick. Like maybe that's why they have the number 2 pick, so they're going to really take their time now.
We are worried because there's not a lot of confidence in the Grizzlies in general right now. 1 and 2, the front office is so new at this and is really young and inexperienced when it comes to the actual basketball building a team thing that you need to do as a front office. And so this right here, this situation, while not alarming yet, is worrisome because it doesn't really lend itself to us being more confident in the front office, right? It doesn't lend itself to us feeling like they know what's going on. They know what they're doing. It looks like there are a bunch of guys who feel nervous about having to make this decision. And you can't be that. You got to do the research, interview the people, and then make a decision, make the hire. And even if they're still in the playoffs, like you're saying, Peter, you can make that hire and they can finish coaching and then come to you. You don't need them anyway right now because you're the ones deciding everything. You're the ones making the decision on certain player personnel. You're the one making the decision on the number 2 pick. You're the one making the decision on whether or not you need to trade Mike Conley. That is going to happen regardless of which coach you bring in. So you can go ahead and hire a coach. He doesn't need to be here or she doesn't need to be here for those decisions as they're being made.
See, I just don't. I don't know what the purpose or why you need to wait at this point. That's the part I don't get. I don't know why you need to wait. Why would you? If you're still in the playoffs, obviously, you would wait to do any decision. If you, but there's no reason, especially with the candidates that they're looking at, by all accounts, all being assistants and all that stuff. Why would you be out there looking for candidates for this long? So that's the part that I don't. I mean, I guess we'll find out when they make the hire. What the process was like. They've interviewed. I know like Taylor Jenkins of the Bucks got a couple interviews. I'm sure they've interviewed more than one. I wonder if this little rumor of the assistant coach / front office liaison thing is complicating things. I wonder if they to the point where there's coaches who are just like, nah, I don't want to do that. it's there's only 30 NBA jobs. So if an assistant is going to get a head coaching job, it would be hard for them not to feel confident and go get it.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that complicates things a little bit. I don't know.
I would imagine it would complicate things a lot. I saw that story. I was like, no, this can't be real. This is not how you build a franchise. And for the reasons that you pointed out, like every meeting, every practice becomes an indictment on you as the head coach. And you can't have an assistant coach with that type pull, with that type power. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about it at some point in time. All the days run together with what's going on in LA, right? And who's in charge, and how if you don't have that clear point person, then it lends itself to there being different factions and different cliques, and those cliques beefing with one another and really bringing down the chemistry and the success of the team and the organization. And if you're the Grizzlies or anybody who thinks that, hey, we're going to give an assistant coach rights or make an assistant coach give him player personnel responsibilities, like that doesn't lend itself to you being a functioning franchise. It lends itself to there being different players and different people doing different things to appease the coach and the assistant coach with player personnel decisions. Right? That's what it lends itself to it being. And that you can't run that way.
It doesn't. You don't. There's a reason why you don't see it. Sometimes one of the things I always like to say is sometimes it's okay to think inside the box. We don't need to. We don't always need to get outside the box.
Whoa. Let me marinate on that one. That was like deep.
Think about that. Sometimes it's okay to think inside the box.
Yeah.
Sometimes the box is there for a good reason. We've established the box. Box makes sense. It's good. The reason it's there is good. And if you open it and try to think outside the box, then you're doing it. You're working too hard. You're making it hard on yourself. Don't do that. So this would be an example of that. I don't know whether that is actually the case or not. I can only go by what Mark Stein is throwing out there. Stein, generally is pretty reasonably connected. He's not just going to throw stuff out there just to do it. But it still is it would be a baffling decision. But
that would scare you away, even if you are an assistant coach in the NBA and you want a head coaching job. That would, looking at how they've treated head coaches in the past 3 head coaches.
Well, it's a different regime, I guess. Well, what they'd say, it's same owner, but different regime.
And then you come in and say, okay, different regime. I can talk myself into this. Wait, you want to do what? Like we saw Ty Lue basically tell the Lakers no because they were trying to put assistant coaches on his staff. Right? Head coaches, you need to be, like Amari was saying, you need to be empowered. You need to have people around you who you can trust also. Otherwise, when things begin to go south, everybody's looking around like who's in charge. It's clearly not this guy. Who's the one who actually is making the decisions around here? And they begin to follow that person. And then as a head coach, you're biding your time until they let you go.
Well, it is potentially troubling. So we'll see. We will see what happens. And all we can do is wait at this point because it has been a excruciating last few weeks of just kind of nothing going on. I mean, just very little information, a few perfunctory private workouts without any discussion or any kind of openness, even though that was not the way that it was presented. That was not my impression of what was going to happen, but that seems to be the case at this point for the Grizzlies. So, I guess we'll just kind of keep waiting because that's really all you can do at this stage. We'll take a break and return on the other side. You can text in 67129 on the
Great text
First Bank text line, 360-8255 on the First Bank phone line as well. It's raining. It's ugly. Not a fun morning, but we're trying to perk you up here on the Experience. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
Sports Time with Rollo and Stacks. Every weekday afternoon from 3 till 6. Right here on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Hi, friends. I'm Shane Stanford from Christ Church, Memphis. Here at Christ Church, we believe in Memphis and we believe in you. And every Sunday at 11 o'clock, we want to invite you to come hear a biblically based, Christ-centered message that talks about God's love for you and his guidance in your life. And also to hear an interview by amazing people who are doing incredible things for our city and our community. So don't miss us, 11 o'clock, right here on this station, every Sunday morning. I'm Shane Stanford. Remember, you matter.
Campbell Clinic now offers daytime walk-in care, and you don't need an appointment. If you've got any kind of urgent break, sprain, strain, you can walk into any of their 5 convenient locations Monday through Friday from 8 until 4. There's no long wait you have to put up with the ER, and those doctors are really good, but they're not orthopedists. They're not world-renowned orthopedists who have come up with different procedures and written the manuals for them that are used everywhere in the world, and I'm not kidding you. And you can now see those doctors who treat the Tigers, the Grizzlies, the Redbirds. You can see them today without an appointment. And I'm talking Collierville, Germantown, South Haven, downtown at the Med Center, or even the Campbell Clinic Spine Center in Cordova. Now, if you've got something pressing, you got to go to work and you can bear the pain until the evening, there's Campbell Clinic After Hours. That's Monday through Thursday from 5 to 8 in Germantown, South Haven, even Saturday morning in Germantown. If you're injured, don't wait. Visit Campbell Clinic Walk-In Care or Campbell Clinic After Hours.
Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment Center, specializing in stem cell treatment for your neck, back, hips, knees, shoulders, and autoimmune diseases. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
You better get in there and listen to this. Why are you taking your time? That's what you wanted. This is Aqua Boogie.
It's like, what the hell was that in the first part of the song?
I didn't want it. My father wanted it. He requested personally Aqua Boogie.
What? Yeah.
Shout out to Senior.
What? Yeah. Shout out indeed. Back with you on the experience, Peter and CJ with you, and Aqua Boogie is appropriate because it is, well,
it's a little moist.
It's a lot of aqua out there, and CJ had to boogie through the raindrops to try to. Where you went? Did you leave your windows down?
Yeah. You know, when you don't got air, Peter, you don't roll the windows up, baby.
Got to get you.
Need to get you
some air or a new car or something, man.
Go to Acura.
Yeah, man. Acura Memphis. Come on, man.
I may need to make that trip.
I mean, there's no may. You need to make that trip. There's no may about any of this. It's crazy. I'm flabbergasted. I don't even. You need it. Come on, man.
Hey, when you right, Peter, you right, man.
I'm always right.
Bump the brakes on that.
No,
you're right. Like
most time.
17.589% of the time.
Here's one of those. Speaking of 17.589%, that might be your interest rate on your credit card balance. That's probably about right. That's probably in that neighborhood where it is. We can do better than that. If your credit card bills keep you up at night, if, maybe that's what's keeping you from that new car. Maybe you need to save a few bones on the old interest payments. Well, have I got something for you, CJ, or anyone else that happens to be listening? Lightstream. Be smart. Pay off your credit card balances with a credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream. Look, we've all been there. You've had a little cost or two, things come up, you put a little too much on the credit card, you end up can't quite pay the balance off, so you're carrying it, and that interest rate on that carried balance gets crazy, double digits, and that adds up over weeks and months, big time. You could save thousands in interest by lowering that thing. How about a fixed rate as low as 5.95 APR with autopay? 5.95 compared to 15, 20, that'll save you a bunch. You can get a loan from $5,000 up to $100,000 and there are no fees. You can even get your money as soon as the day you apply, all of it with Lightstream. All you got to do is go to lightstream.com/Peter because that is how you save even more. My listeners get an additional interest rate discount by going to lightstream.com/Peter. That's lightstream.com/Peter. Subject to credit approval. Rate includes a 0.5% autopay discount. Terms and conditions apply and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/Peter for more information. Great stuff from folks like, and look, you can try to help you out, CJ.
I appreciate it. I need all the help I can get. I don't know if you know that.
I'm doing the best I can for you and for everybody that's out there.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
67129 on the text line. Texter wants to know, is Can't Touch This funk?
No, it's rap. But Can't Touch This is sampled from Super Freak, Rick James. And Rick James is...
Yeah.
I'd allow Brick House as funk. I would.
Yeah, I think so.
Ow.
Because again, you got the funk. I'm not a musicologist. I'm not a
sure does sound like you are
music theory, but there's a bass, typically like a bass groove that goes through most funk. You got some kind of a little funky bass kind of. That's what you. So if you hear that, then you could probably. That makes you think something is funky, even if it isn't specifically funk. So that's kind of what you go through. If you listen to Macho Man, for example, you don't hear that. It's different.
And while there are elements, because rap songs sample a bunch of different genres, while there are funk elements in You Can't Touch This or Rapper's Delight, it's not funk because of the cadence and the way with which they are lyrically performed. So that is another difference. I like funk. Funk is an important genre. A lot of different genres borrow from them. Yeah. And it is impactful and important.
Because there's not too many other genres that have their own, adjective. Like funky. You don't rappy. It's not rappy and it's not rocky. It's not no. It provided its own thing.
Yeah.
That's very important out there. 67129 out there. So we're trying to figure out what's going to happen with the Grizzlies. The other thing that we mentioned too is the Jonas Valanciunas thing kind of hanging on the outside here, where he's got a week. June 13th is his opt-in date. So if he's going to opt into that final year, he has to do it by June 13th. So a week from today. And he'd have to do it. It would be $17.6 million for next year, and then he would be an unrestricted free agent next offseason. That's a lot of money, obviously, but Valanciunas and I asked him about it several times, and he's told me straight up that he would like to negotiate a longer term deal if everything works out in Memphis. He'd like to stay, but again, a lot of that is dependent upon the coach and the style of play, and is he going? He spent the majority of his career in Toronto, where he was kind of part of a platoon system. And then when Nick Nurse came in for Dwayne Casey, he moved out of the starting lineup and he started Serge Ibaka more. And so he kind of was de-emphasized to some extent, and he was okay with it, but because they were winning and all that stuff. But as a player, especially one towards the prime of his career, he wants to play, and he wants to play a significant role. And not every coach wants to play with two bigs, because if you sign Jonas up long term, you are committing to play with Jaren and Jonas alongside each other. So that's a two big system that is not necessarily super common these days in the NBA. You got to have the right coach for that. He doesn't know who that coach is going to be, but he also doesn't want to cost himself money. And so $17.6 million is a lot of money to leave out there if you're not sure you're going to be able to get it back. Plus more. I mean, I'm sure he would sign for less in that first year. I'm sure he'd be willing to sign like a 4 and 48 or something like that, 4 and 50 or 3 and 40 or something like that, which would be a little bit of a discount on that first year if you got more guaranteed money. long term. So I don't know what he's going to do. It's really tough.
One of the things that you brought up that is I didn't even think about was the fact that while he would be getting, if he opted in, $17 million this year, if it's the wrong coach and they don't play him, like he'd be hurting himself money in the future. And when it comes to that long term. Mm-hmm. So right now, his market value might be as high as it's going to get in free agency, even with the influx of bigs that are also free agents this year. If he's looking at long-term money, it might be best for him to go ahead and opt out and try and get a long-term deal somewhere.
That's the risk of it. I mean, again, if you take that money now, 17.6, it would be more than he's going to get probably anywhere else this next year. But yeah, if you're de-emphasized again and you're look at Boogie Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, injury played a huge part in all this. Mm-hmm. But I mean, his value and what if he gets hurt? And what if Jonas gets hurt? I mean, again, when you're hanging out there, it's always tricky. It's more of a risk than you think. So he may not want to do that, especially not knowing exactly what's going to happen in Memphis. And it's not like his family and everybody's settled here. Like, he likes Memphis, but he's still in a transitional kind of phase. And he's been in Lithuania for the summer pretty much. So it's not like he's locked in here. And I think from the Grizzlies' perspective, I do not think they should use him as the reason why you hire a coach is Jonas Valanciunas. Mm-hmm. That doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't hire Sarunas Jasikevičius just because you want to make Jonas happy. That seems silly. And you shouldn't just keep Jonas around in spite of yourself just to say that we won this trade with Marc Gasol. That wasn't. You can't look at it on a trade-by-trade basis. Mm-hmm. They wanted to get rid of Marc's deal. They wanted to get something for him. They did, and you just have to roll with it from that point on. You can't just be locked into something. I mean, it reminds me of one of the things that Chris Wallace did well 10 years ago when the Grizzlies traded in the middle of the season. They traded a first-round pick for Ronnie Brewer of the Jazz, and Ronnie Brewer at the time was really good, but 3 or 4 games into his Grizzly career, he hurt himself and was never the same. And so in the offseason, he was an unrestricted free agent, and the Grizzlies chose to sign Tony Allen instead of Ronnie Brewer. Now, they'd already given up a first-round pick in the process to do it, but, Chris Wallace said, well, that's sunk cost. It's already done. What's done is done. I think Tony Allen's going to be better, and he was right. Mm-hmm. Tony Allen was much, much better. So you can't look at it like, oh, we've got to back up this trade or we've got to back up this move. You can't commit yourself to that. That's not going to fly.
No. And it lends itself, if that's your way of thinking, you're going to compound the mistake. In basketball, don't compound mistakes, right? So if you get the turnover, sprint back defensively, don't give up the easy bucket. If the easy bucket is going to be had, don't give up the and one as well. Like, don't let one mistake end up costing you to make 2, 3, 4 more mistakes. Mm-hmm. Just leave it alone. Just eat it. Just eat that one mistake and then keep it moving, man.
That's right. We'll take a break. We'll keep it moving. Hour number 3 on the way. Stick around. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
Plunge on into the Super Summer Sale at Family Leisure. Complete pools starting at only $12.99. 24-foot above-ground pools starting at $19.99 installed. 4-piece deep seating patio sets starting at $7.99. Holly Adirondacks 20% off. Spa starting at $17.99. Swim spa starting at $99.99. Family Leisure has great prices on all outdoor kitchens and pergolas. Lowest prices guaranteed. The Super Summer Sale at Family Leisure, Witten Road at I-40.
Yeah, family and fun come together.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition. And yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I buy houses.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 and 87.7 FM anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also keep up to date with everything going on by keeping up with Sports 56 on social media. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook for information on breaking news, station events, big guests, and opportunities to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Stay in touch with Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter today.
I'm here with Anna and Catherine, two of Mr. Charlie Burgos' granddaughters at the Rendezvous restaurant. Okay, ladies, you guys and gals now ship a Rendezvous nacho box. Why had no one thought of that before?
We do. We have no idea. Someone suggested it to us, and at first even we went, can we make that work? So we sent a bunch of sample boxes to friends and family to only rave reviews.
Okay, so what comes in the nacho box?
You get Rendezvous pulled pork, a bag of Brim's corn chips, a bottle of Rendezvous barbecue sauce, a bottle of Rendezvous seasoning, a tub of Poncho's cheese dip, and a jar of Flo's pickled jalapenos from Felicia Suzanne's. The box is $99, which includes overnight shipping. It makes 6 to 8 full dinner-sized nachos or feeds way more if you're just serving it as an appetizer. It truly is a perfect taste of Memphis. A great gift for family, friends, clients, coworkers, or just some Memphis expats.
Where do we order these delicious nachos?
At hogsfly.com.
Mr. Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant, a family-owned restaurant in downtown Memphis in the alley since 1948.
Real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and WPGF-LP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to the Peter and the City Experience with CJ Hurts. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Everybody you want to.
There you go. Well, all right. Hour number 3 is here and funky. Woo! Peter, CJ, 2%, taking you up to 10 o'clock, where Greg and Eli take over.
Dairy Boys in the building.
2% whole milk, chocolate milk with you. We should have called it Dairy Boys. Can we get the Dairy Council on board? They've done some sponsorships before. We need to get that dairy sponsorship.
We do.
What kind of milk do you drink?
Oh, if we want them on board, we can't know what type of milk I drink.
You always like soy milk or like
it is the.
Are you lactose intolerant?
The milkless milk.
Are you lactose intolerant?
No.
Why don't you drink milk?
I every now and then I do. I try and mix it up.
What's the problem?
Try not to drink too much milk.
You don't like protein? You don't like calcium?
Protein, you don't like protein and calcium in the silk.
Not the same.
You do.
Yeah, it's not the same.
I understand that, but you get it there.
Yeah. You don't like that? Is that you don't?
No, I do enjoy that. My wife has issues with it though, and so
you're as a solidarity thing. That's what you're saying. I got you.
If my queen not drinking milk, I'm not drinking milk.
That's beautiful.
We drink. We get at the soy.
That's beautiful.
Not the almond though, because almonds take up too much water, and in the area where we're growing almonds, there's always a water shortage. So we do some of the others milk. So like actual soy, might sprinkle in some cashew rarely cashew milk, but yeah, that's how we roll.
I'm drinking whole milk. I want all the way live.
When I drank milk, it was
all the way
live. Is that the red top? Which one is the red? Yeah,
red
the
top.
red top.
Yeah.
Just give me the red top, baby.
Yeah.
Let's get
Don't
this
give me
going.
skim milk.
No,
Skim
that's water.
Milk water. I don't want.
May as well have water if you're drinking skim.
Nasty.
Give me the real one.
Let's get it. It is hour number 3. It is raining outside. It is a pretty ugly day. It's going to be this way throughout the day. Highs in the low 80s today. So get your umbrella, get your poncho, whatever it is you need to deal with all that watery stuff coming from the sky. It's not going to be a whole lot of fun. But that is what you're going to have to deal with today and tomorrow and probably Saturday as well. I hate to break that news to you as well. We've been talking a lot about the last night, Game 3, NBA Finals. The Raptors got the win that they had to have in Oracle against a very hobbled Warriors squad. 123-109 was the final. We'll talk more about that coming up momentarily. There was some shenanigans courtside with a fan pushing Kyle Lowry. He got ejected. We found out last night that Paul Pierce, 11 years ago, when he had to leave in a wheelchair in the middle of the game, turns out he just had to go poop. and he was fine. One of the great rumors that has been confirmed. It's fantastic. The Cubs and Craig Kimbrell reach a $43 million deal over 3 years, which is a big pickup for the Cubs. Amanda Anisimova, the young American upstart, such an upstart that I have no idea who she is. She upset Simona Halep, the reigning French Open champion, in the quarterfinals. She's reached the semifinals. Fantastic for her. 17 years old, and she is allowed to make money, which is cool, from playing a sport professionally.
I don't like it. I mean, she's too young. She doesn't know what to do with the money.
Well, I know. It's weird, right?
She does not know what to do with the money. So you give her all that money, she's just going to blow it. I wish we could. You know what I want us to do with that money that she may win? I want us to put it in a trust for her until she's 25, 26.
It is strange how we feel okay with her and tennis players and golfers being allowed to make money early on, but not football players or basketball players. It's weird.
I'm just
wonder if we could think about why that might be. Yeah, probably nothing you could think of really that would.
Nothing comes to my mind. Nothing immediately comes to my mind.
No, certainly not at all. And we've been talking a lot about little grisly tidbits that have been in the news, because that's all you're getting right now are tidbits, little workouts here and there, little discussions about potential coaching situation, Jonas Valanciunas and his contract, etc. 67129 on the First Bank text line if you want to get in, or on the phone lines as well. First Bank phone lines 360-8255. So that's all been happening right there. Texter loves it. George Clinton and P Funk are Sly and the Family Stone. Real funk, baby. Keep those funk texts coming in. Sly and the Family Stone is excellent. We need to get some Sly and the Family Stone.
At the HBCU I attended, and I'm sure that this is going on all over the country.
Tuskegee.
Yes, Tuskegee.
Why you just throwing
because I want to shout out all HBCUs as a family, not one particular university.
Okay.
So like Tuskegee University, and this is happening all over. Wherever there's a Q-Doll frat on your campus, the last song after the probate, this almost made me want to hop online. But after the probate, at the end of the probate, they stroll to Atomic Dog. And you always get that. And you know, okay, when Atomic Dog gets started, you got 30 minutes to get to the club because it's about to go down. It's going to be a crazy party.
Bow wow wow yippee yo yippee yay. Bow wow yippee 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 yo yippee yay.
They just hopping all over the place, getting it. Good times. I need to go to a probate. I need to go back to one. I'm gonna get to one this year.
I haven't gone.
You never been?
Never been.
Whoa, wait.
I know. Can you believe it?
Thinking about it, yes. But we've got to get you to one. That is an experience. The probate.
I'm ready.
I don't know if it is that way for predominantly white institutions, but at a historically black college university, when they do the probate, it is intense. I'm talking the Kappas one year did their probate back on yard after being kicked off the yard for 5 years. Back on the yard, the Kappas come through and they come onto the yard with a fire truck, just getting that Kappa shimmy going on. The hand rubbing, the shimmying on the fire truck, all the way live as they cross some new Kappas into their wonderful organization. The Q Dogs as well. That was a great probate. The Sigmas and the Zetas, phenomenal probates, Deltas, AKAs, all of that. We got to get you to one. I'm trying to think. I need to check Lemoyne and see who's on yard for them. And maybe we go there, maybe Lane College, get you to that is an experience. Everybody should experience that. That is so much fun.
Let's do it.
Never going to start on time. Never starts on time. Ever. You're standing out there hour 15, hour and a half waiting on them to come through. And they always go with the year that they were founded. So if it's 1911, it's hey, at 1911, military time.
Right.
19. Now we got to sit here. 19. So noon. 27. Wait, plus
7-11.
Yeah, plus 7. So that means when are we supposed to be out there? 9? Yeah, 9, 11. Okay, that's time. Never forget. Strong. will be out there, and then they don't start this thing till like 10:30, 11 o'clock.
It's like a boxing match. I mean, the suggested start time is, it's just a suggestion. To bell time at 8 o'clock or 9:30 or 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
Whenever people are there, and they've waited long enough, we feel like we're going to go ahead and do it. So that's I appreciate the invite. And
we're going to do it. How do the regular fraternities do their probate?
I'll be honest with you, I don't
No, Max
wouldn't.
You want one of them? You need to get Drew. Drew's in one. I wonder if it's like
he's in a fraternity.
Greg was in one too.
Weren't you in a fraternity?
No.
I thought you were in a fraternity. Don't you have a fraternity?
No, Drew was.
Don't you have? I thought you had something on your car, like a.
No, I don't.
Like, is it call in? Because I want to know. Is it as spectacular? Like, it is a spectacle when somebody in the Divine Nine decides to cross a line. I wonder if it is a spectacle for other fraternities and sororities when they decide to cross.
I don't know. I'm not the person to ask on this one. I can't tell you. I do know last night Raptors take a 2-1 series lead over the Warriors, 123-109. Strangely, the Warriors have scored 109 points in each of the first 3 games of the series. Very odd sort of coincidence. But they've lost 2 of them because, interestingly enough, their opponent, the Raptors, have scored more than 109 points, which means that they will lose. But if the Raptors scored fewer than 109 points, then the Warriors would win. So that's that's called a little interesting nugget from statistics that I'm able to share with you this morning. Steph Curry, 47 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and a big fat L because those teammates that he had were not there to give him the kind of help that he needed. He had a spectacular individual game. But much like LeBron, back when this whole thing started in 2015 with that hobbled team and with everybody out, there's only so much that you can do individually. You cannot win a finals game by yourself. And the Raptors got a huge amount of contribution from their starters. Their starters scored 106 points, which is the largest number, I think, that we've seen this playoff run. Everyone scored at least 17 points from the starters. Siakam was much better, 18 points on 8 of 16 shooting. Marc Gasol, 17 points on 6 of 11 shooting. Kyle Lowry had 23. Kawhi Leonard had 30. And the one guy that came off the bench, Van Vliet, was extremely effective, 11 points. And the Raptors shot 52% from the field, 45% from 3, and 95% from the foul line. About as efficient as it gets.
Yes, and that is where Clay is missed on the defensive side of the court. You brought it up. They've scored 109 points in all these games. So offensively, while he is dynamic and he does give you somebody who can space the court and at times create a shot for himself and create shots for others with his screening ability and the attention you have to give him, even when he's setting screens, they still put up 109 points. Defensively, you talked about it some in the first hour. With no Clay, that means Draymond's not helped, right? Draymond's got to guard Kawhi. Then you got Iguodala on Siakam. So when those two get by their guy, because they're pretty good offensive players, they're going to get by these defenders at times. When you get by that guy, the person over there rotating isn't Kevin Looney because he's out, right? It is McKinney or Drepko or one of these other players, Livingston.
God help you, Boogie Cousins.
Or I didn't say Boogie. I didn't say Boogie for a reason because he's not going to rotate all the way over there. So you've got a clear path to the rim, and if you can get up and elevate, which we saw Kawhi do, throwing down a monster left-hand jam on, I do believe McKinney, getting the and one in that play, and Siakam, what he was able to do finishing at the rim. If you get by your guy, the help is not the same. It's just not. They aren't physically, they aren't the same size back there when it comes time to rotate. And or the basketball IQ is not as high. So the anticipation is not there. And they're rotating late, just a hair late. And it's the Raptors get buckets off of it, got some dunks, got some layups off of it. And that is where Klay Thompson is missed. Klay is one of the great two-way players of his era, playing on both offensive side of the court and the defensive side of the court. And when you lose that, you're going to struggle. You are. And we saw, even without Klay, the Raptors went through a spell there in the third quarter, maybe the second quarter, where they just couldn't score, where they were stuck on like 52, 55 or something like that, and they just couldn't score. And if Clay is out there, Clay's going to help you get buckets, and then you go on one of those patented Warriors runs right there. But no Clay, nobody there to help Steph get over that hump. And unfortunately for the Warriors, it led to them being defeated.
Well, and this is the thing. You can't fault the Warriors for. I mean, Steve Kerr did everything he could do, but they just don't have a lot of weapons here to deal with, and especially without Clay, it's this is kind of an indictment in some respects. I mean, the Warriors. It feels ridiculous to rip Bob Myers and their front office because they've really done they brought in Kevin Durant, and you see the drafting that they've done has typically been very good, but they've not gotten a lot of contribution from those spots, basically 6 through 11 out there. They're not getting much, if anything, from those guys when they have to go into their depth to any level. You can look at the Raptors, for example, they've gotten contributions from Norm Powell. They've gotten contributions from Serge Ibaka, from Fred VanVleet off the bench. They've gone legit 8 deep in this series. Even when they had to, and they're still without OG Anunoby, who would normally be part of this, and he's technically cleared to play. He didn't play last night and may not play in the series, but he's been hurt. He would be part of that rotation. They would go 9 deep, and remember they traded some of that depth to get Marc Gasol. I mean, there were 3 other guys in Valanciunas, CJ Miles, DeLon Wright, who all would have been part of this as well. So they had tremendous depth, and you give Masai Ujiri a lot of credit for compiling that group and putting them together. Meanwhile, look at the Warriors. Off the bench, you got Bogut, who they signed, in March, coming from the Australian League, who's probably been their most effective player. Quinn Cook, who is a very limited defender, but does at least shoot it with confidence when he's out there. Doesn't always make it. Didn't make a 3 last night, but he shoots it with confidence. Jerebko, very limited. Alfonso McKinney, very limited. Jordan Bell, very limited, particularly on the defensive end. And then you Jacob Evans, who they drafted, not good enough to get out there and be part of it. Damian Jones, no. It's not. The bench isn't close, and that is becoming very clear now. The Warriors have been just slashed to the bones by all these injuries.
Yeah, and I think the bench is good, right? Because theoretically speaking, Iguodala should be coming off the bench, and Sean Livingston as well should be coming off the bench, and that puts them, I feel like, about 7 deep, and then you throw Bogut in there. That's about 8 deep, and that's good. But when you lose Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson, and you're forced to bring those guys from the bench, those older players, so you can't play Iguodala and Livingston but so many minutes and have them be effective, 24, 25 minutes, and have them be effective. And you bring those guys in to start, like when you go to those other guys, to number 9, 10, 11 on that bench, there's a severe, I said bench, that there's a severe drop-off there. And it was evident last night, and it's been evident throughout the course of the season when they've been asked to play significantly.
No, and that's now the Warriors, if you're them, don't you have to, you got to go with whatever you can get from Durant and Clay. I mean, we've seen the Raptors didn't even really play. They could have played better. I mean, yes. which is crazy because they shot so well, and they were super efficient throughout the entire game. But you mentioned that stretch going into halftime.
That's
where they were really shaky, and the Warriors looked like if they just made a couple shots here and there, they could have cut that thing to 5 or 4 or even single digits. And it ended up being 8 at the half. Could have been even worse than that. Toronto. I give Nick Nurse credit for this one thing too. I mean, I think Nick Nurse actually did a really good job through most of this playoff run. But I like the fact that he started Fred VanVleet to start the second half. He went with him instead of Danny Green. Danny Green had been shooting well and playing well, but he needed VanVleet out there to defend Steph. VanVleet I'm telling you, he's not a Steph stopper. No one's a Steph stopper. But he is the best Steph defender out there. He's much better. That Lowry is not able at his age and with his body, he just is not able to keep up with Steph in the handle, and Van Vliet can. And in the minutes that Van Vliet played with Steph scored, I think it was 25 points on 25 or 28 possessions or something like that. And when he was out in 13 minutes that he was out, he scored like 20 points in like no time at all.
Yeah.
I mean, he makes an enormous difference. And Nurse saw that and was willing to put him in there. I think it's a smart move. I think they need to keep him out there as much as they can, especially if he's going to hit those crazy shots that he's been hitting ever since he had that kid. So I like that. And I think for the Warriors, man, if they can't get much from Clay, and it's not a toughness thing. I mean, Clay, it's just a hamstring. Like if your hamstring doesn't work, you can't run. I mean, you can't jump.
Was it a hamstring or a quad that Tony Allen was out with against the Warriors?
Hamstring.
It was a hamstring. Yeah. And I remember being at the game, watching Tony Allen box out and then try and jump for a rebound and just not being able to get up there. And it led to Golden State getting an offensive rebound and an easy pit back. I'm like, like this hammy is not a joke. You can want to all you want, but you're right. If your body just can't. Your body can't cut the way that it wants to cut. Your body can't react the way that it's used to reacting. You can't jump as high. It is an injury that like really hampers you and prevents you from playing not only to your level, but to a level that impacts the game in a positive way for your team.
You just can't play. I mean, that's the thing. You can't do it. And it's so he can go out there and they can try him. But again, it might look like what we saw from Tony Allen in that series, where he's just out there, but he's not really able to contribute to any major level. And the same thing is true with Durant and his calf injury. And muscle injuries are weird like that. People like to bring up the whole or bring into the element of like toughness or whatever. Like this is not about toughness. It's not about fighting through the pain or any of that stuff. If your muscles and your leg muscles do not operate properly, you can't run, jump, etc. effectively, which means you can't play basketball. Like there's not a it's just you're not going to be able to be effective. You can go out there but you're not going to be anything close to what you could be, and maybe that's going to be enough. Maybe that's all the Warriors can do. But plus, you can re-injure very quickly. That's the other thing. Muscle injuries you can re-aggravate any of that stuff. Super easy.
I want to make sure I'm getting this right with that. What you're saying is the muscles in your leg,
correct,
are used to play basketball.
Correct.
And that if they're hurt, it hampers your ability to play basketball. That's what you're telling me?
No, you've got it.
Never would have guessed it.
You've got it. No, you got it.
You taught me something today.
You nailed it. It's weird because you shoot the basketball with your arms, but in fact, your legs are also important in playing basketball. You're quite wow. I know. Some new information I've been able to share with you today.
Okay.
Anything else I can do for you? I mean, I'd love to.
That is shocking.
Yeah. No, I'm here to help.
I see that it is raining. I've heard that water is wet. Is it wet outside? Okay.
Go find out yourself.
Okay.
That's an experiment you can do. That's an experiment you can do for yourself.
During the break.
During the break. We'll take that break. Come back and we'll find that answer from CJ. Also, we'll get into a few other bits of news from around the sports world, including I know CJ's most excited. We're going to do CJ's Hockey Minute.
Yeah, baby.
Coming up because we got a pivotal Game 5.
Pivotal.
Tonight.
Huge. Blues and the other team really going to get out there and compete. I look forward to it.
See, I mean, how could you not want to hear that? That's next. As you listen to Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
From Penny, the Tiger player, through Penny, the Tiger coach.
Well, I think the main game plan is we can teach you. We're going to develop you. We're going to get you better.
For over 25 years, we have been real sports talk for Memphis in the Mid-South. Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Perhaps you have observed, as I have, two sorts of people visit art galleries. There are the mere vagrants who are always on the move, passing from picture to picture without seeing anything. And then there are the students who sit down and contemplate. They meditate and saturate themselves in the beauty and meaning of the art. People's responses to life are the same. Our hectic lifestyle turns too many of us into vagrants, moving from one experience or encounter to another. We never stop to ask, what does this mean? Or what was that person really saying? We do it in relation to God as well. We don't take time to simply be still and listen, to probe meaning, and to ask what God may want to do with our lives. Are you a vagrant, simply passing through the gallery? Or are you a serious looker? I'm Shane Stanford with Christ Church Memphis. Remember, you matter.
Visit ChristchurchMemphis.org.
We've all got places to go. From work to play. Morning to night, it's go, go, go. And then go some more. We go for music, movies, workouts, and checkouts. It's quite the busy little schedule we've got going. And we need something to keep up with it all. To keep up with life on the go. That's where Valero top-tier certified quality fuel comes in. It keeps your engine running cleaner, better, and longer. So you can get right back to going. Find a station near you at ValeroCleanGas.com.
Underage smoking and vaping is a serious problem. One way to combat it, raise the legal age to purchase from 18 to 21. About 80% of high school students turn 18 before graduating. If they can legally buy tobacco, they can share with underage classmates. Raising the purchase age to 21 reduces underage access. That's why Juul Labs supports making 21 plus the law nationwide. Learn more at juul.com/T21. Juul Labs, for adult smokers only. Paid for by Juul Labs.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurd. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
That's just pure funk right there.
Just funky. Like, not a lot of music gets 2% over there grooving, but like, he is nodding his head, shrugging his shoulders. He is getting it over there. You know he's listening to funk. Just randomly also. Not only during the rejoins, but I look up randomly, and Max is just over there, like, into the whatever he's listening to over there. Great pick right here, Max. Keep it up. You're one fucking dude.
You've improved.
You down by Macho Man, so gotta make up for it.
You've improved.
It's fun.
You've improved on your shot selection over there. Texters coming at 67129 here in the Family Leisure Studios. Chris texts in, says, I'm a Sigma and probates are epic. I'm here near Nashville and TSU puts on a show. And U of M does well with Divine 9-2. Go to a probate, you will enjoy the party. I told you I'm there. I'm ready.
Okay.
Let's go.
I figure out when one is. I've never been to one at a PWI, so that'll be an experience for both of us. We'll go to a PWI.
PWI, predominantly white institution?
Yes. So we'll go to one there, and then we'll hit up a HBCU. And get everybody on campus is out. Everybody, Tuskegee, 3,000, 4,500, maybe 6,000 students, and even the ones that didn't live on campus. Like, oh, there's a probate tonight? All right, I'm going to go home, put on my freshest gear, because you got to be fresh at the probate, because you are out there to flex on them. You're out there to stunt on them as well until the probate actually starts. So you get out there, you get a good spot, you see the line cross, they take off their mask. You're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know they were online. What? You go, girl. Yes, do that thing. And then bow. Get to the club. Well, go home, change again, then go to the club and turn up. Fridays or the day after a probate, nobody's in class. Classes are empty. They just are. And teachers know it. They try to like schedule pop quizzes and stuff like that, but with the advent of the phone, like we were texting our buddies, like, hey, Pop quiz is about to go down. Like, get here now.
Have you been following this controversy with Hank Haney, the Tiger Woods' former golf coach, and his comments about the how many Korean golfers are on the LPGA?
Oh, no, I haven't, but I can't wait to hear where this is going.
He made some flippant comments about on May 29th on his daily show on Sirius XM. He said he was not up on the women's game and that he was asked to pick, and he said, I would just go with the Korean golfer. I said I would go with Lee, and if he didn't have to say a first name, I'd get a bunch of them right. And, not the best taste.
Not ideal.
Not great. No. He apologized later in the show, did so again on Twitter. He's faced considerable criticism, understandably so, from just being sort of vaguely racist / I don't know, it's just not great. It's not a great situation.
No,
I'm not sure he's being malicious with it. It's just you don't want to do that. You want to be flippantly
racist.
Flippantly racist or flippantly.
It's a bad thing to be.
That's not where you want to be. Anyway, Tiger Woods weighed in on his former coach and said that Haney deserved his suspension. He was suspended from his show, and that was the suggestion of the PGA Tour. They said you had to do something. And so Tiger said he deserved it, and said they're reviewing the status of his show. There has been no word on the future. He said, Tiger said, you can't look at life like that. And he obviously said what he meant, and he got what he deserved. He also said, I think it's unprofessional and very disappointing, especially because it's from someone I worked with and trusted as a friend. And Hank Haney had already written a book about Tiger and kind of delved into his personal life, which is why he was disappointed with him to begin with. So they've already had their little issues. Then Hank Haney posted on Twitter yesterday. Love the Twitter response.
Let's get it, baby. Just Twitter fingers.
Amazing how @Tiger Woods has now become the moral authority on issues pertaining to women. Sliding it right over.
Let's get it.
I spent 6 great years coaching Tiger, and not one time did he ever hear me utter one sexist or racist word. I guess he didn't hear it. Now, in addition to being a 15-time major champion, I guess he thinks he's also a mind reader. #glass houses. How do you rate that as a clapback?
I like it. I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I'm rubber, you're glue, and 10 being waving to an opponent after you have eliminated them from playoffs, I put it at like a 5, like a 6. It's solid.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's all right. But I don't think that was where Tiger was going with that. And he hopped on there, and he being the former coach hopped on there and defended himself by taking a shot at Tiger. I like it, and I like that it's public. I do wonder though. Tiger Woods has Tiger Woods saying something about this situation. I do believe Tiger's mom is Korean, if I'm not mistaken. What is his mom's ethnicity? Do you know?
Coltita, she's Southeast Asian, I thought. Something. Okay. I think she's Vietnamese, possibly, or.
Okay. I wonder why Tiger felt comfortable speaking up about this situation and not about situations as it pertains to black people. Right? He's been asked about situations that pertain to black people on top of this particular situation. He seems to feel more comfortable discussing a situation like this and not one surrounding black people. I just wonder why he gave a response in this particular situation.
Well, I think, Tiger is from the Michael Jordan school of, I'm going to try to sell as much as I possibly can and stay out of too many of these controversies, racial or otherwise, really. Tiger's never stepped up. He's never been LeBron, where he's willing to go out there on social issues and say, here's the deal, and that's how I believe, and that's it. I don't know that we know really what Tiger believes about some of that stuff. I don't think we've had that information. I think part of it is that for what we talked about, the difficulty in their own relationship. I mean, they've already had issues. I mean, Haney's already written a book where he spilled some dirt on Tiger when Tiger notoriously privacy oriented. felt like that was a betrayal. So they've already got some bad blood. And I think that's more of the issue there is that he's getting a little shot in at a guy that he doesn't necessarily like anymore, rather than sticking up for women. In golf and all that. Because, I mean, to be fair, Tiger is not a moral authority on any issue, pertaining to women. This, I would say, is more of a race issue than a women's issue. It may be just the fact that he doesn't know about the women's game. That's, sort of vaguely sexist from a golf commentator who's talking golf. That's his whole thing. But I wouldn't say that's a women's issue, more so than I would say it's a race thing. But either way, Tiger, if he doesn't find it expedient to weigh in on something, he usually doesn't.
Yeah, mom is from Thailand, by the way. And that is where at times we can use conversations about race and racism in a way that is not really all that helpful. When it is when it's not coming from a true place, when it's coming from a place of I want to get at this guy, or vengefulness, or just headlines, we're trying to politicize it. That is when it becomes less beneficial than what it really needs to be. When it is, this is wrong. It's wrong, but so are these other situations. I'm not going to speak on these things, but I'm going to speak on this because it's a guy who I don't like. Yep. I'm going to use this as a way to poke at him and
Tiger's
jab him.
petty.
And
he's not afraid to be petty.
No, he's not. And while I, in general, am all the way here for pettiness, when it comes to matters of race, we need to have serious conversations about it and put some of that to the side. And it can't be got you. I knew you were a bad person. I never liked you. This is why. And you use it as a weapon to go at somebody and not as something to actually sit down and try and get that person to understand things, right? And understand why it is wrong to say that, or to not only to say that, but to have that type of mentality or have that in your heart, right? That it is counterproductive for that to be the stance that we take at times.
Well, this is another example of Tiger being Tiger. This is a very Tiger-y thing to do. But Hank Haney also, dude, come on, man. It's 2019. Yes, there are many successful Korean women playing golf. There are many successful Spanish-speaking people playing baseball. These are the cultural times in which we live. Let's try to do the best we can, okay, to keep up and not embarrass ourselves any more than we need to on a regular basis.
Please.
Now, speaking of which, you've got two big stories in the baseball and hockey world, the worlds that you know best.
Well, I can know a little bit more about baseball.
Could you?
Yeah.
What's the pitch count? What's the pitch count?
What do you mean? What's the pitch count?
Are we still the same?
Oh yeah. I thought you I don't know who's pitching right now.
I thought he was asking you, what does that mean? I'm like, I think he knows what it means.
I got that. No, I haven't seen anything more.
Me neither.
So
we're still well over
200.
Well over 200. I mean, I'm really carrying the load for all you guys, which is shocking.
Well,
you were at the game. That's unfair.
It's not. Why is it unfair? It's not unfair. It's the best.
That's how it's supposed to be, though.
That's how you're supposed to do it. Craig Kimbrell signed with the Cubs, 3-year, $43 million deal with an option for a 4th year. Kimbrell, one of the best bullpen arms, finally getting through, and we have you're well into the baseball season, but he was hanging out, waiting for the right deal, and so that's what he's got. $10 million this year, $16 million the next 2 years. Everyone's excited about it, but he's there, and they. It's unusual for a quality free agent, someone of this magnitude, to be available at this point in time. But the Cubs have struggled to close out games. This should be a massive improvement over the closer by committee or anyone else that you've got. What are the things that you like about Craig Kimbrell's game?
Arm strength. That arm talent, man, is immaculate. Not many like him. I'm surprised that it took them this long to sign him. I think that works to his benefit. He doesn't have as much wear and tear on his arm as he would early in the season. He's going to come in and be immediately impactful. And when you add that to a rotation that is okay, solid, but not great. It allows him to come in and be that second or third starter, and then Bow, you push everybody back a little bit, and now you've got some real depth, some real firepower in that.
Close out. He's not going to start.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I meant. Close. And when you get him to that inning,
so you don't want to.
When you get him, well, listen. Let me finish. I said close. Okay. When you get to that inning, the 8th or 9th inning, and he comes in, and you got the lead, man. Like it is. That's basically guaranteeing yourself a win right there. I'm not saying he's Mariano Rivera, but he's close.
We'll see. He had some issues last year.
Mm-hmm. But I think he's fit those issues to the bit.
Well, I mean, I don't think we know that. But he's 31. He's the youngest pitcher to reach 300 saves.
Mm-hmm.
He is one of the best strikeout artists in the league, but thought last year to be tipping his pitches in the ALCS against the Astros. It looked pretty rough for a while. So let's see if he's figured that out. Also, his beard is disgusting. It is just a terrible, terrible beard, and looks like it smells awful. Look at that beard. It looks like Craig Kimbrell's beard looks like a bird has been working on that for several weeks with just sticks and twigs that it found around the neighborhood, and just kind of threw that thing together. And then, oh god, there's probably an egg in there.
At least one.
At least
like a robin egg.
Yeah, like a little egg or something. Like there's something in there. It's pretty.
Yeah, can he not grow the lip part?
I don't know.
Or is he just like, I'm not rocking with the mustache and the beard?
It's a terrible look. Just I mean, you cannot. No, not having it. I'm not having any of that because it's not ZZ Top. It's not all the way down, like that far down, and it's just so scraggledy and raggedy looking. It's just no. Baseball players and hockey players can put some terrible beards out there.
Yeah,
I mean, truly terrible. Now the other thing, CJ, it's time for America's favorite segment.
Yes,
we gotta get some music for this. I don't know what it would be. It's called CJ's Hockey Minute, where CJ breaks down Game 5 tonight of the Stanley Cup Final with the. Well, I don't even want to tell him who's playing.
I don't even want to tell him who's playing either, man. You guys know what it is.
CJ knows.
They're going to be out there on the ice with the old rubber puck, as I like to call it, sticks ablaze out there. And you know sticks ablaze. That's how hot it's going to be. That's how much firepower they're going to have. That is it right there. They're going to be out there, all this speed, all this power. You got the Blues out there on one side. You got the other team on the other side. And they are going to be flying around. This is a pivotal Game 5. Important Game 5. Who's going to win? The team that possesses the puck the longest, folks. What? You really got to work that puck around the ice.
Not to
create mismatches. Create mismatches. That's what you got to do.
The most, the one that holds it the longest is going to win?
Peter. Is this Peter's Hockey Minute or CJ's Hockey Minute? Whose Hockey Minute is it? If you want to talk, if we can do this as your Hockey Minute, Peter's coughing now because he knows what time it is. CJ's Hockey Minute. Work that puck around the ice. Create mismatches. Create angles on goal. You got to work the ice. Work the ice. Got to work the ice. You got to work the ice so you can get the right angle and get that puck in there. Go top shelf, bottom shelf, left shelf, right shelf. Get it in there. Peter,
show me what you're working with.
Got to show us what you're working with. And speed and depth on the lines, right? You got to be 3 lines deep when you get to this point in the hockey season. When you're at the Stanley Cup final, you got to have line depth, and that's what the Blues have. They go 3 lines deep, all fast. So much speed is on the ice when they go to that 3rd line, and it really creates mismatches. And then on the power play, you got to capitalize on power play opportunities when you get there. You got to get the right angles on goal. Got to get it behind there. Work the back a little bit. Behind the goal. Work the back a little bit. Got to do that.
Who's going to win?
Who's going to win? The Blues. The Blues win 3-2 tonight. You heard it here. That's my Hockey Minute.
That was longer than a minute.
It was.
Well, that's because Peter kept interrupting me.
It was great. I love the music too. Great music. Let's keep that. Keep that music for CJ's Hockey Minute. We'll get the update tomorrow. Another CJ's Hockey Minute on what happened because he'll be able to break down the game as only he can. Will they get the puck back there? Will they work the ice enough to get the angles proper to get the rubber puck into the net thing?
That's what I call it, sticks ablaze, baby.
Will the sticks being ablaze be a problem? Will they melt the ice with their hot sticks?
Texter texts in, can CJ even name a hockey movie? Mighty Ducks. Bow.
I got you there. Texter, he got you right between the eyes.
In the face.
Can you name another one? Can you name another one?
Mighty Ducks 2. Bow.
That's true. What about a third one?
Peter. They did 3 Mighty Ducks, dog. Mighty Ducks 3, baby.
I'm seeing one on Netflix.
That was called D3.
D3.
Yeah.
Yes. I know that.
Have you seen Goon?
Who?
Goon. It's called Goon. It's a hockey movie.
No.
What about Slapshot?
No.
What about Johnny McPuck's Ice Skating Adventures?
That's not real.
No, it's not, but it should be. It's a great movie, though.
There was a movie, I feel like Brendan Fraser was in, not Brendan Fraser, who's the guy from Boy Meets World? Eric's roommate when they get to college. That guy was in it, kind of sold his soul to the devil for hockey, so his team could win the hockey championship.
Is this Ghost Rider?
And then, no. And then the devil's like, yeah, we'll do that. And then because the devil is the devil, his team ends up trading him to another team, to a much worse team. And that team looks like it's destined to win the hockey championship.
I think you're making this up.
No, I'm not. I'll find the name of it. And then, like, the angel comes down. I won't tell you how it ends. It's some M. Night Shyamalan stuff. It's great.
I'm going to take a break and figure out. I don't think any of that was real. Back after this. Feel free to give your feedback on CJ's Hockey Minute. I'd love to get that.
Is it a comedy movie?
Yes, it's a comedy.
HE double hockey sticks.
Yes. Bow.
It's when you have a cute title and you're like, well, how can we make this? HE double hockey sticks. What can we? Yeah. Okay. The tail wagging the dog on that one. Let's take a break. We'll come back and wrap up this edition of The Experience, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 87.7 FM.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 middays, delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 to 1 on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
This time of year, there's no better way to beat the heat than to get out early before it gets here. And there's no better place to get to early than Sunrise on Jefferson. Simply the best breakfast you can have in Memphis. The food is always fresh, always fast, always delicious. Sunrise has the best variety of breakfast anywhere in town, and the doors open at 6 a.m. when it's still cool enough to breathe. Sunrise on Jefferson. Get up and grit it. Finally, a good local breakfast served fast.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Campbell Clinic now offers daytime walk-in care, and you don't need an appointment. If you've got any kind of urgent break, sprain, strain, you can walk into any of their 5 convenient locations Monday through Friday from 8 until 4. There's no long wait you have to put up with the ER, and those doctors are really good, but they're not orthopedists. They're not world-renowned orthopedists who have come up with different procedures and written the manuals for them that are used everywhere in the world. And I'm not kidding you. And you can now see those doctors who treat the Tigers, the Grizzlies, the Redbirds. You can see them today without an appointment. And I'm talking Collierville, Germantown, South Haven, downtown at the Med Center, or even the Campbell Clinic Spine Center in Cordova. Now, if you've got something pressing, you got to go to work and you can bear the pain until the evening, there's Campbell Clinic After Hours. That's Monday through Thursday from 5 to 8 in Germantown, South Haven, even Saturday morning in Germantown. If you're injured, don't wait. Visit Campbell Clinic Walk-In Care or Campbell Clinic After Hours.
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
This is like the classic. This is like the funk song. Maybe. Come on.
Man.
If this song doesn't make you move and groove, then something is wrong with you.
Hey, Matt. What do you want?
We want the funk. Hey! Gotta have that funk.
Ow.
CJ, who will be the key player in the hockey match tonight?
That is a great question. That is a great question. I have some thoughts on that, but you have to watch and find out.
I have to watch you?
Or watch them.
What? No, that doesn't make any sense.
What you mean?
Who will be the key player?
Yeah, I have some thoughts on that.
Yeah.
You'll have to watch and find out.
You have some thoughts that
yes,
I have to watch them to find out your thoughts?
Yes.
We'll find out on this hockey take tomorrow.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to know who was the key player.
I'm saying, like,
I want to know who will
be.
be the key player.
Whoever was the key player will be the key player. They're the same player, Peter.
No. Who was the key player in Game 4?
We all know the key player in Game 4, Peter. Don't patronize me, man.
Who was it?
Game 5 is important. The key player, so much talent will be on that ice.
Like what? I mean, like
the key player will be the one whose stick is ablaze the most.
Like I said,
the one who is playing with speed, power, finesse.
There's so much
that
talent.
will be the one.
You could probably, you could say one
just
or two.
throw a dart at the board of all the talent on the
proverbial dart and tell me one of those names that you think would be.
Peter, just throw a dart at the board and it will land on one of the key players.
Which one did it land on? Which one did it land on?
The good one.
With the Blues. Which one did it land on?
The good one with the Blues.
Okay.
That we all know who that is.
Man, this is some good stuff. If you're a hockey fan and you're not listening to this show on a regular basis, I don't know what's wrong with you.
I don't either.
I mean, you absolutely need it.
Breaking the game down. Call me. What's my man's name? Barry Melrose.
What's my man's name?
Call me him. He's the hockey guy, right? Yeah, he's the hockey guy. Yeah, he's the hockey guy.
He's the ESPN.
Yeah,
hockey
call me
guy.
him. Because that is who I am.
What do you think about Zdeno Chara?
Who? Say that name again. I didn't hear you.
Zdeno Chara.
I think that is a name that we will hear a lot of tonight.
Why do you think so? You think he's going to be out there?
I think so. I know that I think there is some issues with the face, but like he is a hockey player. They are built for this. Even with the face issues, he'll get out there and play. They're not like basketball players. I got a
hockey players are a different specimen.
Yes, I got a hamstring issue. I can't go out there and play. No, that's not what hockey players do. Pucks to the face, broken everything. He'll be out there. I know reports saying that he won't, but ignore those and listen to me.
Oh, yeah, I think he very well may play. One other note, too, and I don't want to, listen, far be it for me to tread on CJ's Hockey Minute.
Please do. Please don't. Don't tread on my Hockey Minute.
No, I won't. So this is not Peter's Hockey Minute. This is just Peter's Hockey Comment. But the Blues are 6-0 on the road when trailing or tied in series this postseason, which is tied for the most wins in a single postseason all time.
Peter, say that again for the people.
The Blues are 6-0 on the road when they're trailing or tied in a series this postseason. They've been very good on the road when they've needed to get a win.
Been doing it all postseason long.
In this postseason as well.
Going on the road. Blues win. 3-2.
Okay. We'll find out. CJ's Hockey Minute tomorrow. Set your clock.
And it has to be 1 minute.
No, we should make it.
We'll have a timer.
We should make it much longer for CJ. I enjoy when CJ's Hockey Minute stretches to like minute 40 and he's like, It's always fun.
I can do it.
Oh, you can do it.
I can do it 3 hours of hockey. Let's get it.
What do you Sting over here?
I don't know. What does Sting do?
Sting's tantric. You know what I mean? Like he can extend it for
okay.
long.
Yes.
You know, he can go for 8 hours if you need to.
I am Sting. I'm the Sting of hockey analysis.
I feel like you're right. You're more the CJ's minute, whereas So I. Oh, by the way, good news for you. Also, your boy Shane Lowry is winning at the Canadian Open right now. The guy that you picked, the guy that you picked, is tied for the lead right now at the RBC Canadian Open. Right? I mean, look at you right there. Good news also. Dustin Johnson and Tony Finau committed to the World Golf Championships FedEx St. Jude Invitational yesterday. You can add names. I mean, again, eventually this is just. These are formalities, essentially, because this is a World Golf Championships event, which means that it's gotten more money, which means that there's more prestige, there's more on the line, more of the better players are going to come. So, you will end up with a group that's probably going to have, 50, 57, 58 of the top 60. I mean, it's going to be an absolute star-studded affair in about 7 weeks, 7 weeks. So, but you can add them to the list. It's going to be... It's going to be epic. Cannot wait. CJ says it's a win tonight for the Blues. Congratulations to the Blues fans already out there. We'll have a lot more on this. We'll get you set for Game 4 of the Warriors and Raptors tomorrow as well. Maybe we'll have a coach for the Grizzlies. Who knows? Maybe we'll find more information about that. Maybe we won't. Big thank you to Omari Sankofa for joining us. Terrific stuff. Thanks to Maximilian 2%. Vincent over there handling business and getting some good audio. Making it work over there. Big thanks to Miss Margaret for jumping in and helping.
Hey, thank you, Miss Margaret.
And of course, thanks to Zdeno Chara for being part of the show today as well.
Go Blues.
He doesn't play for them.
Go the other team.
Fair enough.
No, go Blues. Yeah, I don't care who plays for.
So on top of all of that, most of all, I want to say thank you to all of our listeners and texters for being part of the program.
And people on the Facebook.
And people on the Facebook as well. Thank you for all the streaming and all the love there. And thanks to me for a great job. We got to get out of here. Have a great day.
Oh, no, we're not.
These seats are amazing.
We deliver tickets, team merchandise, and everything you need to get ready for the game. But what you really get when FedEx knocks on your door is so much more. FedEx Delivery. Game day spirit. What we deliver by delivering.
Duncan Williams Investment Bankers presents Kansas at Live in the Garden this Friday, June 7th at the beautiful Memphis Botanic Garden. One night, Kansas, all the hits, plus Almost Famous is the opening band. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. For more information, visit liveatthegarden.com. Doors open at 6:30, show starts at 8:30. Also presented by FedEx, True Green, Infinity of Memphis, Regions Bank, Radians, Pro Show, Mojave Tint, and PDR. That's Kansas at Live at the Garden this Friday, June 7th at the Botanic Garden.
At Indeed, we understand that when it comes to hiring, it's important to have a large talent pool to choose from. But sometimes too many good options can be overwhelming. That's why Indeed doesn't just give you access to a large pool of job seekers. We also offer screener tools that let you instantly narrow down your search. Hone in on hiring with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-218-6473. 800-218-6473. 800-218-6473. That's 800-218-6473.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Available on your radio dial, 560 AM and 87.7 FM, as well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app, and at home, tell Alexa or Google to play Sports 56. If it's happening in the world of sports, we've got it covered. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studios, Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and WPGFLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's time for Sports 56 Middays with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Sports 56 Middays is presented by FedEx. FedEx, helping small businesses simplify e-commerce. The first hour of Sports 56 Middays is also brought to you by Davis Motor Home Mart.
From the top on down, here comes a 1-2 pitch. Sox win the World Series, and the best team in baseball wins it all in 2018.
There's a new dynasty in the NBA. The Golden State Warriors champions once again, back-to-back titles, 3 in 4 years, and the latest for the sweep.
The Tigers reclaim their crown by crushing Alabama.
Brady under center, victory formation, takes the snap, falls to an E, and that'll do it. The New England Patriots have won.
And Virginia with the all-time turnaround title.
Now, here are your hosts for Sports 56 Middays, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
I got a piece of land out in the countryside. Lay back and smell the sun. Warm up the Georgia pie. It's so good to me, taking it easy. Why would I ever leave? 'Cause I know I got some good.
What's up? Good morning, everybody. Welcome into Sports 56 Middays on this rainy Thursday, June 6th, 2019. Despite the rain, hope your Thursday morning is off to a terrific start. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Max Vincent. We're in the Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Their Super Summer Sale going on now through June 26th. Sports 56 Middays is delivered each and every day by our title and presenting sponsor, all the great folks at the FedEx Corporation. Can't thank them enough for being a part of our show each and every day. So important to this community. Streamline your e-commerce business so you can focus on growing sales and strengthening customer relationships. You can learn more at fedex.com/e-commerce. Coming up on the program today, we'll talk plenty of NBA Finals. The Raptors regain home court advantage. They beat Golden State, a depleted Golden State Warriors team, as we found out yesterday afternoon that Klay Thompson wasn't going to be able to go. I know he was upset. He wanted to play, but Ryan Hollins on the program yesterday told us he wasn't going to play. He did not, and Toronto grabs a 2-1 lead in that series. We will talk at 12:25 to Dan Wolken, our good buddy from USA Today. He is out in Oakland. He's covering the NBA Finals, and we'll have Dan on the program in our last hour. Keith Kessinger is expected to join us sometime during the show today. The radio analyst of Ole Miss baseball. The Rebels getting set for their super regional matchup with the Arkansas Razorbacks, which begins Saturday in Fayetteville. At 11:25, the new head coach of the Christian Brothers University Buccaneers, John Riley, will join us, replacing a legend in Mike Nienaber. John Riley comes from Gannon University in Pennsylvania. We'll talk to him and his thoughts on what his expectations are for the Buccaneers. We got Major League Baseball news. We have NFL news. We got a big rule change in college basketball that we'll discuss. The Tigers are inching closer to filling that final assistant coach's position. We'll talk about that. And the Stanley Cup Finals resumes tonight. Game 5 in Boston with the Bruins and the Blues all even up at 2. We got 2.5 questions as well. And we'll wrap it up with one final thing. And as always, folks, if you have a question, you have a comment, you want to participate in the program, you can by just listening. And we really appreciate that. But you could also call in on the First Bank phone lines. Leave your comment on the First Bank text line. The phone number, 360-8255. The text number, 67129. Also, tweet us at Eli560 at Greg_Gaston. How are you?
Well, I'm not happy with Mother Nature.
Has to rain sometime.
Well, I think that's theoretically, yes, it does. But it hasn't rained in I don't remember last time we got a significant amount of rain.
Right.
It's been a long, long time.
Right, because it sprinkled a little bit yesterday.
It's been weeks, since we really had, really an all-day type rain.
So the whole
we've had some pop-up little thunder showers and stuff like that, but we haven't had rain in a really, really long time.
So the entire time I was in Europe on vacation, you had great weather.
Oh, yeah, it's been perfect. We've had great weather. And then this weekend, we have a big group of us that do our annual Rough Rider Cup event, and now it's supposed to rain every day. We're supposed to play. We play this afternoon. We play tomorrow. We play Saturday. And according to the forecast, it's like a 90% chance of rain for the entire time.
Well, you got some slickers to wear?
Well,
are we talking thunderstorms? Are we talking lightning here?
Thunderstorms for most of this. So,
that's not good.
Not even sure if we're actually going to get to play any golf. Supposed to play, what's 27, 18, 45, 54 holes of golf in the next 3 days and may not play any.
Wow. I'm fired up for Kansas tomorrow night, and that could get rained out. Who knows? If there's thunderstorms.
Mario Chalmers leads
in the forecast. Mario Chalmers is not.
They're coming. They're performing. They're putting on a little basketball show.
They left a little dust in the wind when they beat the Tigers back in 2008.
I've got actually a pair of tickets for Kansas live at the Garden tomorrow night that we're going to give away later on in the program. Somebody wants to go out and check out a little Kansas. Yeah. And it is not the Jayhawks. Bill Self, I don't believe, will be there, unless maybe he just wants to come into town and watch Kansas, but he is not any part of this Kansas, so you don't have to be angry at this Kansas for anything.
No, and fans would stay away if it was that Kansas, but it is the big 70s rock group that had some really, really big-time hits, and we'll see what Mother Nature does. We'll see what Mother Nature does to your golf event.
The sun has
Mother
gone
Nature
wayward.
does to the.
We can say the sun has gone wayward for the last few days, for the next few days.
Yes, but we'll see. Maybe Mother Nature will do a turnabout and give us the weather that we desire. So last night, NBA Finals. Look, I still believe Golden State's winning the finals. I still think they're winning another championship, but they have to have another shooter. And they will have Klay Thompson back for Game 4. But they did not have him last night. I know he wanted to play. They were very cautious. And the team they put out there on the floor, which still is a good team to a certain stress, to a certain point. But defensively, when you have guys in there that are not used to playing significant minutes or playing together, for that matter, they really struggled with communication on defense. And Toronto lit them up. And then offensively, when you have guys out there like Sean Livingston, who is known as a real bulldog-type defensive player, but not much offensively, I hate to liken it back to Tony Allen, but it's basically a guy that nobody's going to worry about shooting the basketball. And he's deferring, and they had another guy out there who's deferring. So it's either Draymond, who's not the greatest outside shooter, or Steph Curry. And Steph Curry, you talk about carrying a team on his back. They likened that to LeBron James when Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love were out for Cleveland and what he did. And Steph Curry went for 47. But Toronto proved that one guy can go off and score nearly a half a 100, and you could still win by 14 points. And Toronto was really never in trouble. Golden State would make some runs, and then Toronto would come down and hit a big three. And they all contributed. Yes, Kawhi was terrific, but Kyle Lowry was fantastic. He had 23 points. Serge Ibaka on defense had 6 blocks. Danny Green with 18, some key threes. Fred VanVleet with a dagger 3. All these guys really contributed. Pascal Siakam was terrific. They were really, really good. So you have a Golden State team without Clay, without Durant, without Looney. This spelled doom for Golden State in Game 3. I still believe that Golden State will win the series.
It was that was an impressive showing last night by Toronto. I mean, if they're going to get that kind of production, when your whole starting lineup goes for 17 or more, that's pretty good. And
they all shoot 50% or better.
Marc Gasol is now alternated. Really good game one. Game two disappeared last night. Very good once again. I didn't realize, they said last night, Danny Green is shooting over 50% from three-point range in the finals in his career. And he's made a ton of threes, and I couldn't believe how they were shooting that high of a percentage.
And think about this. Danny Green was the throw-in in the Kawhi Leonard, DeMar DeRozan trade. Nice throw-in.
But, I mean, you look at the two starting guards of Green and Lowry hitting 11 threes between them, going 11 of 19 between the two of them, and then Van Vliet off the bench, 3 of 6. So basically your three guards combined to go 14 of 25 from three-point range. That's hard to beat because Kawhi is still doing his thing. Listen, I mean, as Ryan Hollins, when he joined us, just said, if Clay doesn't play, if Toronto loses that game last night, that's one of the worst losses in finals history. Steph is awesome. And Steph was that was a truly amazing performance because everybody for Toronto knows, okay, he's the only guy that has a chance to do anything really against us scoring-wise. Mm-hmm. And he still is able to hit for 47, hit 6 threes, gets to the free throw line, 13 out of 14, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. He put on a special showing, and that gets him a 14-point loss. There's just not enough firepower. DeMarcus Cousins, I don't know if it's just because he's not really in shape kind of yet, and but he looked like he couldn't move last night. I don't know if that's just because he's still coming back and he played a lot in the last game and his body can't recover quick enough. But he looked like he couldn't even jump. He was so just slow and completely useless last night.
My guess was because of the minutes that he played in game 2. It affected what he did in game 3. Marc Gasol also affected what he did in game 3. Marc Gasol dominated Boogie Cousins early in that game, and then Cousins ended up only playing the 19 minutes. He was 1 of 7. Andrew Bogut was much more effective. Andrew Bogut played 22 minutes, was 3 out of 4, had 7 rebounds, 3 assists. I thought Kerr should have went more to Bogut, but it wouldn't have mattered. Either way, Toronto was winning this game. But you look at the Warriors who had to play significant minutes that don't normally play a lot. McKinney, 18 minutes, 1 of 4. Cook, he's a decent player off the bench. He had a pretty good game in 27 minutes, 4 of 9. He's going to be important the rest of this series if Durant doesn't make it back, even with Clay back. Jerebko was 1 of 6. Evans was 0 of 3. Livingston, who started and is a really good defensive player, he was 1 of 4, and he didn't play that great defensively. He was really not a factor.
Sean Livingston has been good in his career. That he's got that mid-range game, and he just in this series he really hasn't been able to get it going at all. Game 1, he did not shoot well, didn't play well last night, didn't really get anything going, and him moving into the starting lineup probably is a little bit uncomfortable for him because he's just so he's kind of that new, come off the bench and provide a different thing than what they have. And now he's in the starting lineup, so it's a different role for him, especially with him out there with Steph, which he's normally not out there with Steph. But it's just that. Now, Jeff Van Gundy said last night that this Warriors team would not make the playoffs in the West.
That's stupid.
I would disagree. I think they would make the playoffs. They would not win a playoff series. If you say DeMarcus Cousins was healthy, I would say, okay, they could then win a playoff series. They would be fine. But with that DeMarcus Cousins from last night, no, they're not winning anything. But I think they probably still can make the playoffs.
Well, I thought the assumption was the players you had active last night would be the players you would have for a season, right? DeMarcus Cousins wasn't going to be unhealthy the entire season. So your lineup would include Boogie Cousins, a perennial all-star, Draymond Green, an all-star, and Steph Curry. You don't think that team's going to the playoffs, Jeff Van Gundy? Obviously, his statement was made with Klay Thompson out, so you would assume Klay Thompson not on the team and Kevin Durant not on the team for the entire year. Even with those three, Boogie Cousins, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, you're going to the playoffs. But you can't do what Golden State's defense did last night. Even with guys that aren't normally in there, you have to communicate better. Toronto shot 44.7% from three. They were 17 of 38. They got wide open looks. Then, of course, down the stretch, they hit a couple miraculous shots with the clock winding down.
Well, the thing is, I mean, Klay is a big loss on the offensive end because he's a great shooter.
But a great defensive
He's a massive loss on the defensive end.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
of his length and his ability to guard pretty much anybody. He's really good, one of the best defensive guards in the entire league. So, losing him kills them on both ends of the floor.
And look, and I understand injuries part of the game. I'm making no excuses, and nobody will make any excuses for Golden State if they lose this series. If Durant never comes back, Klay comes back, but he's less than 100%. People will talk about that in the future, but I will take nothing away from Toronto if they can get it done. I still don't believe they will, because I think once you have Klay out there, even if he's 80%, Klay Thompson can still knock down shots. He's still a weapon. He's not going to be a decoy. I just wonder about Durant. Obviously, that injury was more serious than we thought. But this is the finals, for goodness sakes. This is the one sport where guys don't play even in the finals when they're somewhat hurt. I mean, this is the NFL. Guy with a broken leg is going to go out there and play, or at least try to play. It's a little bit different with the NBA. So I'm assuming that the Durant injury is worse than what we thought. Now, people asked Durant yesterday.
In the NFL, it would be it's one game and you're done. This is a series. Like, you could lose a game and you're still alive.
But even bringing Durant how much worse could they play defensively than last night? They were horrible last night. If you got Durant and Klay Thompson on the